We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred.
With Max the Silver Hammer.
We are nothing sacred. With cruise control. We are nothing sacred.
Oh,
Be
yes.
doopy.
Fuck
Bitches.
yeah.
Fuck you. Oh, I mean, no, not fuck everyone, but fuck age, fuck getting old. This is the nothing sacred, drunken, whatever the hell you
I
want.
don't know what this
barely
is. This
drunken.
might be sober sacred. I'm the only dude drinking. You
Yeah,
two
and what do
fucking
you
teetotalers. And Koala's not here, so you know.
Well, Qual's not here yet. We'll see if she
Yeah.
comes in.
Yeah.
We need her. We
This
need her
is-
to balance some shit out.
Well, no, she wasn't here. You weren't. She wasn't here. I mean, you weren't here last time, and she balanced that out. Although it was such a great show last time that maybe we should just no.
Yeah.
No.
Well, let's
Damn,
first of all,
just
just scrap me.
Just joking, man.
let's hear
I am
what
cruise
happened to you, man. Why you weren't here?
Well, let's start. First of all, we have to introduce ourselves. I'm
Oh yeah,
Cruise
let's do
Control.
that. All right, fuck.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Maxwell Silverhammer. Okay.
I'm Luie Loc.
Doing great.
Yeah, we're starting this show off really fucking good. It's the
And who are you, man?
I already said I'm Cruise Control.
Oh, did you? I didn't hear you. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, damn it. You need to start listening, man. You're getting old, like I said, man. This is the fuck
But fuckulous birthday bash or birth. What fuckulous to birthday bash show? Fuck, God damn it!
Just fucking give the shit up this already. Anyways, we're here. This is the 23rd of September, 2023, and we're gonna talk about a bunch of shit that we don't even realize what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
But well, first thing we have to Max's birthday was this week, so let's give Max a big happy birthday, Max.
Oh, thank you,
Happy
guys.
birthday.
One step closer to 50, baby. Yeah,
Damn right, man. Yep.
One more year closer to the grave.
Yeah, that's true. And then all of us are one more second closer
to the grave. Wow, what a fucking doom and gloom way to look at it.
Yeah, I know, it's really fucking like I said, we're all in positive. And Max is the only one pounding some brewskis tonight. So
yeah, you know what? I'm actually I got some PBR, but also my neighbor was over here earlier, and I had somebody made me a bunch of food for my birthday, like so much I couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I need someone to help me eat this. So I texted him. I was like, hey, dude, you want to come over? I got ribs, fucking potato salad, coleslaw, beans. So he was like, yeah, man, sure. He's like, I got a few tall boys. I was like, okay. So he brought me two. I drank one with dinner, and then I'm drinking this other one. It's Michelob Ultra, by the way.
Oh, Michelob Ultra and Pap. Well, you usually got some Paps. That's a man.
It'll balance it out a little bit. Yeah.
You guys grow some hair on your chest, as they used to tell us when we. That's actually what our teachers used to tell us.
Didn't he used to say hair on your ears? Wasn't that his thing?
No, I think it was hair on your chest.
Oh, okay.
And he would tell us that because we would when we'd eat the crust, because we know when as you're a kid you didn't want to eat the crust of bread. You know, you never eat the crust. You got to eat the crust.
I don't know, man. I always ate the crust.
Yeah, you would.
I always ate everything.
Yeah.
You know?
So, anyways, if you watched our last one, Mr. Luie Loc wasn't in last time. He had an accident. What exactly happened to you, man?
Let's hear it
first. Let's go back to your saga.
So anyway, let's see what freaking day was that? July 28th. I think we had
Oh damn, you remember the day?
I think we had our. Yeah, because it was. It's been about 8 weeks. About 8 weeks.
Wow.
So basically, I got this wild hair, I guess, to clean a ceiling fan at 1 a.m. My wife wasn't home, so yeah, we didn't. I didn't have any person to tell me, yeah, that's really super dangerous to do that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
like you shouldn't have known better
so
anyway.
Yeah, well, you know. Well, here's the deal. I've done that kind of thing before, and nothing's ever happened.
Of course,
that's the other thing too.
Yeah.
So I get up on this bar stool. It's quite high, and I finished cleaning the ceiling fan. Everything's great, and I don't know what's going on, but I guess always tell people to be in the present moment. I guess I wasn't in the present moment because I was thinking, okay, when I'm done with this, I'm going to be cleaning up this. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to do this and do this and do this, whatever. And it was all in my head, right? And as I stepped off the bar stool, I realized, wait a minute, it's not like stepping off of a chair. Like you can just like put your foot down and then it's automatically your foot's going to be like right on the floor.
Yeah.
And as I'm falling in the air, I'm like, okay, this is going to suck. I don't know how bad this is going to suck, but I'm just going to try and figure out a way to like land properly. And I landed right on my leg and fractured it in 2 places.
Oh shit. So,
but it was the upper part of the tibia. If anybody knows what the tibia is, it's like the bone that leads from your leg from the knee downward, basically.
And that's funny
because the upper part of the tibia is like right near the knee.
Not to cut you off, man, but that's what I broke when I had the car accident, when I was hit by the car.
Yeah.
Well, they said it evulsed. That's the term. So in other words, I broke the top piece of the tibia off. So
let me get
mine was just cracked. It was just cracked in 2 places though.
So let me get, so you're obviously in fucking just probably going, oh shit, I'm in fucking pain here. And there's no one else.
Yeah, I was cussing and everything.
And there's no one else there because your wife is not home.
Exactly.
Oh shit! So how did you have your phone on you?
And no. So me being like, oh, I just hurt myself a little bit, right?
Right.
Because I don't know about you, Cruz, but I know that me and Max can attest to. You have some visual impairment or you're completely blind, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
And you just you always stub your toe or you hit your shin on something or you smack your knee on something or you do some stupid stuff and you're like, oh, being blind, okay, fine.
Yeah.
It's just, it is
part of life.
So I was just like, I just hurt myself a little bit, right? And I'm trying to scrape myself off the floor like, oh crap, this hurts bad though. And I'm like, I can hold on to stuff and I can actually still walk. So I'm like, I think I'm going to be okay. So I took some pain pills, the strongest pain pills I can find at the time. And, just put some icy hot and some kind of stuff on it. Like, let's just see what happens. And I lay down and I try to sleep it off, like, okay, maybe in the morning I'll be fine. So I wake up in the morning and I'm not in pain because I guess I haven't used it. You know what I mean? I haven't used the leg.
You've been off of it. Yeah.
So I'm like, hell yeah, man. See, I told you, I'm just talking to myself. Hell yeah. I told you. You see, it wasn't even nothing. It was nothing. And so I'm like, I'm going to get ready for work. And I step off the bed and I'm like, oh shoot, this hurts bad. I'm not going to be able to do nothing. Yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, now I'm going to have to tell my wife because this is like worse than anything that I've ever been through. I'm like, something's wrong. Something ain't right.
Yeah.
It's not like just some kind of a, I didn't just bruise it. I must have broken something or done something crazy to it. And so at that point, my wife being a nurse, I tell her, hey, I think I hurt my leg kind of bad. And she's like, how bad are we talking? I was like, well, I was able to get in the shower and I was, but it was because I used a bar stool, the same bar stool actually, to like walk around. So I would hold it. I would walk.
So it was your walker.
And then I would
basically
push. Yeah, it was like my walker. It was like my little walker, right? And I was able to get in the shower and everything. And she's like, okay, you must not be too bad if you were able to get in the shower. I didn't tell her how I got in the shower.
Well, I like how you minimized it too.
Yeah, you try to minimize, like, dude, minimize.
Oh yeah, I think I just kind of hurt my leg a little bit.
Yeah,
that's kind of what those the verbiage.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! And then I said, well, do you think that I could, because she's doing something else, and I was like, she's like, I'm gonna take you to get some X-rays and stuff like that. But do you think that I said, well, are you gonna be ready in like the next 20 or 30 minutes or so? And she said, yeah. I said, I think I'm going to start walking to the car then because it's going to take me a while to get there. She goes, what do you mean? And so then she realized how horrible it was. She goes, you can't even walk on it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, because she's in the medical profession.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, like, why did I married the wrong woman?
She saw me take a couple of steps and she's like, you are not able to put pressure on that leg. You can't do that. I was like holding on to walls and shit, like holding on to doors. trying to like be like, oh, I'm gonna tough it out. Ugh.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're not even walking on that leg. You're just using stuff to hold on to walk on it. And I'm like, yeah. She goes, I think this is worse than you. I think this is worse than you think it is. That's what she told me. And I was like, oh man.
And then you went there and found out, and you're like, no.
So then they told you what
I
you
knew. I
couldn't
was like,
do, right?
man. Yeah. They basically said you couldn't put weight on it and all that kind of stuff.
So you've been using a wheelchair?
Yeah. So here's the deal. My wife's aunt works at some like she did work at some mobility store at the time. She doesn't do that anymore. But anyway, she was working there, and because she changed jobs recently.
Oh, okay.
But anyway,
right.
So not
None
because
of our
me.
business, but hey,
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, whatever. And so she worked at a mobility store that had like walkers and wheelchairs and shit like that, right?
Right.
That you could use. You can buy them. You can rent them. You can buy them. Whatever.
Okay.
And my wife buys me a walker. Well, first we tried out a walker with wheels, and every time I would use it, the wheels were coming off the ground. And she's like, no, that's not going to work for you. That's not going to be, you're going to fall on your face. You're going to hurt yourself doing that. So we got this like stable kind of walker, which I'm using now. It's like just basically like four legs, no wheels, no nothing. It's just a walker.
Yeah. And every time you move, it's
every time you move, it's like bonk, bonk. I'm like, everybody knows I'm coming, man. But her my wife's grandmother had passed away, and she was using like something called a transfer chair. It's not like a big wheelchair. It's not like where you can use your arms to use, to kind of move the wheels. It wasn't anything like that. It was just a small wheelchair that had really small wheels. And what I would use is the right leg to power myself around.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So I'd use the right leg. The left leg was the one that was hurt. So I'd use the right leg and just push myself, and then push myself again, and then push myself again. It worked for a while. I was like, man, this is pretty good.
Okay.
But my wife is like, if you can figure out a way to work from home or do something where, you got to talk to your job, because you're going to be off your feet for like weeks. And my job was cool. My job was cool. They were able to, we were able to do like some work from home stuff and all that. And then probably about 3 weeks ago, I started actually going back to work again. So
that's
okay.
Like physically going back.
So are you
with a loud walker?
Are you having to use the lift on paratransit now, or what's your?
Yeah, I'm using it now. My wife didn't want me to at first, and I was like, I could do it. And she's like, fine,
Yeah.
But before, she was just driving me over there.
Okay.
At times.
Yeah. That's. But boy, but see, there's a whole transition with that, because I'm sure you went through a fucking volley of emotions, right? Right? You'd be sad.
The emotions that I went through was, how stupid was I that I did that? For one, how long is this going to take for it to be over? Because when you're going through something bad, you're just like, fuck, I just want it to be over. Just get this chapter of life over with. I just don't want to deal with this nonsense. Bullshit.
Yes.
Over something really stupid that I did. Like, come on, man, just get it over with. And it's like, it seems to be taking forever. To be done with it,
dude. That's how I felt.
And
with my leg. When I had the wound on my leg,
I'm like,
I even told people, I was like, I think this is how I'm going to be the rest of my life, guys.
No. I don't think that. I just think, okay, everybody says 6 weeks. Well, it's been 8 weeks, and I'm doing way better.
Right.
I'm actually able to stand up. I have a knee brace now that's a little more flexible, so I can bend my knee and stuff like that. Before, I had like a straight brace. That thing sucked.
Those things are a pain in the
ass.
ass.
Had to just keep your legs straight the whole time. Like, that's a sorry.
Man. Now, are you doing? Do they have you doing any physical therapy? Like, because I know with me,
not yet. Not yet. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm doing my own physical therapy, because I've been walking with this walker to places that I probably shouldn't be. Just like things that are like 10, 15 minutes away. I'm walking it.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And it's like, I'm using this walker, and I'm like, I'm doing my own physical therapy almost in a sense. Like I'm almost there.
Yeah, but you know, when
Like
they
there's
start doing that bending the leg shit, it's gonna be a fucking just
Oh yeah.
painful fucking just because you haven't bent your leg really the way you normally can.
Or even extending it,
For
trying to
weeks.
extend it to a certain, you're just like, oh,
yeah,
So
yeah. Because every
certain,
once in a while I get a little bit of a shooting pain, and you're like, oh no, what the
well, that the other thing
So
is what's
to-
going to happen because you've been compensating that knee. You might get sciatica where you're putting more weight on your other side. Because I remember when I had my knee issue and everything was finally cleared up and I was walking again, I started to get these shooting pains down my left leg, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why am I having this? And somebody explained it's because you're favoring that knee so long, you're putting more weight on that other side, and it's pinching that nerve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this would be a good. This would have been a good
koala conversation. Koala-sation.
Koala-sation. So who knows? Well, she's probably busy tonight, so we'll rock with ourselves here. But I do have something, a kind of a analogy about that. About your. We'll keep going about your. So how are you feeling now? Are you feeling like you see the light at the end of the tunnel a little bit?
Yeah, I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I think I'm doing better than probably other people are perceiving me to be. And I'm like, you know what? I think in a month I'll probably be walking around again. Who knows? But we'll see. Well, I'm not gonna try and push it or anything and mess myself up again.
Yeah, you're not gonna go cleaning off some silly fans or anything like that anytime soon.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be doing it. I'm probably never gonna do that again. At least not on a bar stool. I'll probably just use like a step ladder, like a normal person would.
Yeah, like a normal person. Yeah.
Well, the good thing is at least you're walking places. You said you're going to places 10, 15 minutes away from your house. So that's still that's pretty cool,
Yeah. Like I had to go from my office to some place. It was like the student union. And somebody was like, "Can I just drive you there?" And I'm like, "No, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna see what happens. Let's see what happens. It might take me longer than it normally does, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna just do it."
Okay. And you got there, no problem.
I made it over there.
Nice.
Yeah, and I made it back. So
okay.
And
you were screaming the whole time.
Yesterday, my boss. No, I wasn't.
No.
I wasn't.
No, I know. I'm being sarcastic.
It's crazy.
So yesterday, your boss said what?
But there is like a little tiny bit of pain in the knee. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I think I can do it with this brace on. I think I could just start walking around without the walker. And I try to do it, and I'm like, oh, there it is. There's that pain. It's telling me, quit fucking around. Quit doing that shit.
Yeah. Well, and that's fuck, man. There's a whole. Oh, you had an analogy, cruise control, didn't you, with this?
Well, mine was a little something different, something that I've been thinking about. But before that, I wanted to just talk about like this has to do with obviously. It's like I want to be independent again because obviously, that's a big thing for you. You're saying, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna keep trying because I wouldn't even try to walk until they told me to start trying. I wouldn't even fucking put weight on that at all.
Yeah,
I'd be like fuck that. You're like fuck that. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna try just because I can't. Stand this shit.
Well, that's the thing. There's now you have the compound thing of being visually impaired, having people worried about you. So you're like, fuck, man, I'm gonna, I want to kick this in the balls. So I get it, man, because I was there, just not long ago with the thing on my leg,
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, man, this is not cool.
And I'm like you. The thing about people worrying about me and stuff like that, I'm just like you when it comes to that.
God,
I don't want anybody doling over me. Oh, are you all right? I mean, the occasional, hey, just checking up on you. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I appreciate that. That's fine.
But the Uchi Buchi shit,
over me like, hey, what are you okay, man? Is there anything I can do for you? No.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, unless you can like make me walk again real quick, without the brace and without the walker, then great.
Oh, wait a minute.
You can't do that, which obviously you can't.
We got somebody here. Let's see if Koala's here. It said somebody's joined the meeting.
Yeah, give her a second. She's actually says connecting to audio, so we'll see if she comes in.
Oh yeah,
audio.
Well, I know last time she didn't hear us or something weird was going on. So
yeah, well,
we'll
see.
But
we'll wait for a minute and we'll see. We'll see. It's connecting still. So
yeah. Well, it's weird. It said unknown too, so it's kind of strange.
Well, wasn't her thing iPhone before?
For a minute, it was iPhone. Yeah. Then now it says unknown. Yeah. So
probably has to be like like updated and all that shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's. Oh well, there's a bitch. I have a technology bitch here tonight, guys. But anyway, but yeah, no, I get it, man. Where people are just like, are you okay? You sure you don't want me to, oh God, or they'll talk about
that's the only thing I don't like that.
They'll talk about you to other people, like even just the other day, like there's still a little mark on my leg. And, my brother, of course, the other day we're having lunch. And again, he looks at it and it's like, I don't know, Mom, his leg looks still kind of red. I don't know. And it's like, why are you fucking? Yeah, that's you guys know how I must love that, right? You're talking about me in front of me.
Yeah.
I
hate that.
He needs to get help. Like, I'm right here, fuckface.
Yeah, exactly.
Right
I don't
here.
know. You think we should get him some
help?
You think we should get him some bandages? You think we should? It's we. It's
It's like you should go fuck yourself. That's what
exactly. Exactly. Give me a second.
Yeah, it's like I said, it still says unknown up there for the old koala, the young koala.
I want to shoot her a text and let her know we're in here, because she thinks she can't hear us or something. I
think she knows. I think it's probably because they had an update or some bullshit like they always do.
Yeah. Well,
well, we can call her the super unknown.
The super unknown.
The unknown.
Yes. So shit. Well, didn't you
little Soundgarden reference there? If anybody knew about Soundgarden,
they're a great band, actually, a fantastic band.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Chris Cornell.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. That's another thing that's amazing about.
Here we go.
Random.
Jumping to death now.
Yeah, jumping to death. Yes.
Who's dead, man?
No, who's dead, man? Fred's dead. Zed's dead, man. No, actually, what I was thinking about was what the hell was I thinking about? It was kind of not an analogy, but not Chris Cornell, but like it wasn't really about death. It was about just like how that just goes to show you, like, for some reason come up to Soundgarden. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Is like people that want to be famous. I think I talked about this before, but it's just amazing how people that are, you think they're so famous, they've made it. They've made their lives are great, and and instead they go ahead and they kill it. They kill themselves, or they because they can't handle the pressure, or for whatever reason, or doesn't make their lives better. Like everyone thinks being famous is going to make your life better, but it's just not the way it is. You know, people like just kill themselves.
So
yeah.
So I read I think I may have told you guys this before, but I read the autobiography of Pete Rose. You know who Pete Rose is, famous baseball player. All that mess, right? And so he gets his record breaking hit and all that kind of stuff, and he's walking to first base because he knows he's gotten the hit. Well, he's not walking; he's probably running. They call him Charlie Hustle. But anyway, as he gets to first base, he says to himself, "Now what?" And I'm like, "What do you mean now what? You're on top of the world, bro. Like, how can you feel that way?" But I guess unless we've ever experienced that kind of mountaintop moment, we wouldn't know, right? Like, okay, now what do I do? I've broken the all-time record, the baseball all-time record of hits. What am I doing now? I was pursuing that for years and years and years, and now I'm here. Now what? I'm like, golly,
Cruise Control, you experienced somebody who did something like that. It was just like, well, just enjoy the moment, man.
Well, but you can't, because you get addicted to all the bullshit.
Oh, there you are.
Oh,
there you are.
Finally. Oh my God.
She broke through the ether.
I did. No, it kept muting me and then not letting me in, and muting me and not oh my God. It was like it didn't want me here.
Oh, well, man.
It was quite butt-fuckulous, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was very butt-fuckulous. It did not want me here at all. No. Not let her in.
So could you, so you were, Ian, could you hear us or no?
I could hear, and I couldn't say anything.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she got knocked off again. Oh, she got muted. She got muted again. So I don't know what happened.
That is nuts.
That's weird. I wonder if that's, Huh.
Yeah, so let's just wait. We'll wait for her to. I mean, she's obviously here, but she
Yeah.
Okay,
there she
okay,
is. There,
wait.
There you
she is.
go.
There.
Okay, so I have to apparently just keep my phone very far away from my face. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. This is weird.
Well, you
That's
know what
strange.
you need? You need to have yourself your Lagunitas. I'm sure you got your little something in your
I
hand.
have to now.
Yep.
Well, you know, like I was telling the guys, I got my neighbor brought over some tall boys of what was it, Michelob Ultra,
Yeah.
and so I'm drinking that, and then I've got some PBRs here too. So I'll
Yeah.
be changing during the meeting. So
You'll be going from light to light.
yeah, so who knows? I
Sure,
might.
there you go. He's light stepping.
Yeah.
Light
Light
stepping.
step.
But you know, after a few of those, I start talking all the shit, right?
Yeah. Well, I know that's so he's actually started earlier than normal because
Yeah, he did.
which is good because he'll actually be interesting for once.
Oh
dear.
that's
Oh,
okay.
dear. Oh,
Well,
oh.
maybe if you'd start
now,
drinking,
boys.
maybe you'd be interesting again.
That's true. I wouldn't start talking
dear.
about death all the time.
Hey,
I wouldn't start
Oh.
talking about death all the time. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
Chris
"Yeah,
Cornell
man,
killed
I just think about the
himself."
people that have
no,
died.
don't try to make it. Don't try to soften it, Koala. No, don't do that. Just let
Well,
them,
no,
let
I'm
them
not.
duke it out a little bit.
I'm kind of hoping that it's that that whole see it's the don't
Fuck
and then
you,
I'm hoping
Maxwell.
that it actually makes it
You
worse.
cruise control.
Fuck you drunken fucking lush, you
Oh
goddamn
yeah,
There we go.
fat 215-pound fucking
Now.
you
pot
think because
belly.
you're sober
Whoa.
and in good shape that you can
Yeah.
talk shit?
Damn right, you mosquito. But
Just because he drunks on that fucking
Hey.
trampoline all the goddamn time.
God damn it! And then he had to
Bounced-
go for the mosquitoes. You know, as everything was great until he's talked about the mosquitoes.
Yeah, I bounce up and down like a desperate whore looking for money.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
What's it to you? Huh?
Desperate whore on a pogo stick or something.
My neighbors think I'm having sex with somebody, and I like that because it's the first time for everything, you know.
What was it? Livestock?
They're like, yeah,
damn.
it was in the backyard, you know.
Oh man,
Was
throw
it
him in the back
it
and let
was
the livestock fuck
then.
him.
Damn right. Hey, you got to get
Damn.
enough somewhere. I mean,
See, look, Koala shows up, and that's when it gets crazy.
I know.
Before that, we were having this conversation.
It was
about-
very intellectual. It was too much.
yeah, we were talking
okay, so
about
you had to shake it
Too
up a
much
little bit.
bullshit, right?
It was too much. It was too
talking
much.
about Louie's leg and how he tried to walk on it when no one told him to because he's desperate to be independent again. So he's like cracked his tibia twice or broke it in
Twice?
2 places.
Oh, he fractured it in 2 places. Is what
in
happened.
two places, yeah.
Yeah,
And supposedly the one has actually healed. The other one was a little bit of a deeper cut or deeper crack, and so it's kind of healing itself. It's getting there, but it's not quite all the way healed.
Oh, it'll heal it'll heal shortly. I mean, what, like 5-6 weeks for you?
Well, it's been 8 weeks now.
8 weeks. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, you're about right.
You're about right.
you'll be fine. You'll be in that walker for just another 2 months or so. You know.
Oh, shut up.
With the way he handles it, he's like I feel like I could just walk on it without it. So yeah.
Oh,
You can.
Right now I'm using a walker. Right
Don't
now
tell
I'm using
him
a
that.
walker. So right now I'm using a walker. I have a leg brace on that allows me to kind of bend it a little bit. It's a little more bendy. The first leg brace that I had was like a straight brace, and so now they're allowing me to like kind of bend it a little bit. I'm like, cool. So sometimes I don't even feel pain in it. Of course, they're giving me some pain pills that I can use if the pain gets bad, which I hardly ever use.
I was gonna say I don't
Yes,
see you just taking those too much. You know.
Well, no, don't take the pain pills because if you want to use the walker, you want to know if it bothers you. So
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
That's
them
true.
at night if you need to, but don't take them during the day because
That's-
then you want to weight bear on it, and actually you're doing the right thing. You want to walk on it, and you want to start challenging yourself without the walker. Everyone, but just know your territory because if you don't want to go to an unknown place without the walker. That's
like
what
the bar
that's
stool.
true.
Yeah.
that's all.
He bring his bar stool with him.
Oh, dear.
No, I know what you mean though. Like as a person with a visual impairment, you don't want to be walking in uncharted territory because then it's like, you could accidentally
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to. Well, if you even sprain your ankle, that's going to pull there. So it'll probably hit the fibula, but it'll hit the tibia too. So, but you do want to. You need to start challenging it. So I support a little more. I'm very much more liberal on that. Challenge it.
I love your liberality. All right.
Yes. I'm like, the doctor told me not to move on it.
I don't know, man.
I'm like, fuck the doctor.
Yeah, I'm not even moving the damn thing. I'm like,
cruise control is like, if they haven't told you yet, you shouldn't be walking on it.
Yeah, my thing is that so before I don't know if you heard this, Koala. Before I was using a little mini wheelchair where I could just use my right. So my left leg is the hurt leg. I could use my right leg to kind of power myself through. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't use my arms. It wasn't like a big wheelchair. It was just a tiny one. Yeah, but it worked. It did the job for the time being. And so I didn't bear any weight on the left leg. And then after a while, my wife actually got me like a walker. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start using this walker too. Just kind of using it a little bit more. And before they a couple of weeks ago they did x-rays and they're like, okay, you can start bearing weight on it, and I'm thinking to myself, I've already been doing that. I've been kind of doing that already. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, you can start bearing weight on it, you can just start doing stuff, and I'm like, all right, cool, now I've gotten the okay, even though I've already done it.
Well, good you did, because here's why. If you have a wheelchair that's powered by your right arm and your left leg is the one that's injured, now you're already not cross patterning your body and movement, because you're using your right arm, but you're not using your left leg. So you're not cross patterning where you step, you know, how babies crawl, where they cross pattern. Now you already can't see. So your OA joint at the base of the skull to the head, to the neck, is already compromised. Now you're straining it more. So you're letting things atrophy more up there. So then when you start to, now you can walk. Well, you're not even using that to balance anyway. And your brain needs to balance your eyes to balance your body. You start walking and you haven't been cross patterning, and your brain is even more atrophied up there with that joint.
Now wait a second here. Okay,
start walking.
Okay, hold on a second. So there is actually like scientific evidence that a certain joint in your body, because you're blind, is not developed because of the way.
No. It's not. It's not that it's not developed. It basically is when you're walking on your feet, your brain puts your head in a certain position to right your eyes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, that's it. But what if your eyes do not work at all?
That's the point.
Doesn't matter. It still doesn't. It still doesn't. It's the whole body is. So when you're sitting, so I'm not explaining this really well, and I could go into this. No. Deeply,
I think I get it. I was trying to do it. I was like kind of checking it out myself. So
it's fascinating.
I noticed that. I kind of am favoring the right leg. Like I put more pressure on it. I do more things with it. And I noticed that my head is a little bit kind of leaning a little bit to the
It'll
right.
Lean right. It'll lean right.
Yeah. And I'm like, interesting.
Yeah. And when you get up, what it's probably going to do is turn a certain direction and lean also. So when you adjust someone's neck, the the joint at the occiput to C1, and then especially the C1 and 2, if I move their joint when they're sitting, and they get up, just the act of getting up will actually undo that. So because so our bodies actually are getting accustomed. Basically, your brain is trying to get your eyes straight, and it's a little bit different if your eyes don't work, but it's still trying to do it, because it's a reaction of, hey, you got to look straight ahead.
Oh, so wait a minute though. It could still be, because you understand spatially where things are in location to you. So when you're standing up, the walls in front of you and the doors to the right and all that shit, right? So same kind of thing, right?
Yeah. But also when you're sitting down and you're looking at a computer, say most people. So what we see now is most
Yeah.
people are on computers.
Right.
They're looking at screens,
Yep.
or they're looking at
Yeah.
the paper, like they're looking at paperwork on the desk. They're looking down.
Sure.
And most people don't just nicely articulate their upper cervical vertebrae as they should. They bend their neck forward. They bend their whole, like the lower neck forward, and their body forward.
Yeah.
So they round their shoulders and they look down. So what happens is once they stand up,
especially with people who have only central vision like I do,
almost everybody.
If I'm not looking straight at something, I have hardly any peripheral vision. So if I'm not looking straight at something, if my head's not turned towards the object, I don't see it.
Yeah.
So of course, if I'm looking down at paperwork, I am actually literally, I have my head down because I can't see it any other way.
And then your brain is going to send a signal once you stand up to slide your head back, not your neck, because your muscles aren't going to right yourself into a straight posture in your upper back and your neck. Your head will slide back, and then it locks C1 and 2 down. And then that can cause you to have a head turn a little bit. And that gets exacerbated whenever your balance is off, whenever you aren't using your feet right, whenever you aren't using your knees right, whenever you aren't, that will result in the head turn. So if you have someone with flat feet even, fix the arches, the head goes right. So it's a trip. So actually, the quicker you can get back,
I'm sure there's some other issues with me too. Like I know that I actually walk duck-footed, or I think that's what they call it.
Yeah,
my feet kind of go to the
Charlie
side.
Chaplin.
Well, I've always done that though. What I'm saying is like it doesn't. I don't know what does that mean, the Charlie Chaplin?
Okay, so Charlie Chaplin was like a dancer in the 20s. So dancers walk duck-footed. Yeah, they basically. So he did especially. That's going to affect your pelvis. It's going to hike up one shoulder, drop one shoulder down, drop one of your pelvis into one of the sides of your pelvis into an obliquity. Ultimately, it's going to put your head a little crooked.
Well,
wow, that's crazy how all that
all that shit.
Here's
the crazy thing. Like when I'm on the treadmill, sometimes my right hand gets numb, like goes to sleep. And is that because my head's not straight or my neck's not straight or something when I'm walking?
Are you gripping?
Part of it is I'm gripping the rails. Yep.
Yeah. Because it's the pronator probably on your pronator teres on your right arm.
Okay.
And your head probably isn't straight.
So it probably is. Well, and I've been told too that when I walk, I bob my head. Like my mom used to say, you walk like a horse. So, like my head.
I'd say probably more.
I see you bobbing your head.
I
can see it. Ding, ding, dong.
Let's keep the heads ringing. Keep the heads ringing.
Yes.
I see you bobbing your head. Sorry, man. I had to, dude.
I thought, Run DMC had a song called Bob Your Head too, which is kind of funny, but I get it.
No, it's probably the gripping. You're probably gripping too hard.
Yeah. Okay.
And never turning your you probably never turn your right hand palm up.
No.
Most people pronate, they turn their arm palm down. Yes. And then that puts pressure on the pronator teres, and that puts pressure on the median nerve in the forearm, and that will cause the tingling.
So it has nothing to do with my neck or my head.
No, it can. I haven't looked at your neck. It can, but also the gripping. So that's why when people get carpal tunnel and doctors say, well, you're weak in the wrist, let's have you grip a stress ball. They're actually making it worse because they're contracting the muscle over the nerve even more.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty fascinating shit.
Well, it's a sham.
And it goes.
It's a sham to get money.
It is. Well, but they're thinking about it. They're like, well, it's weak. What should we do? Work it more. Well, no, it's weak. The nerve is not getting the impulse because the muscle is strong over the nerve.
Right.
So they're just not analyzing it.
Yeah, it's just strange how it's crazy, especially when it's kind of funny that this theme is because Max's birthday was a couple of days ago. We're just talking
Happy
about a little bit.
birthday to you.
Thank you.
This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. No, but we're talking about how getting old and like it's just amazing the chain reaction, like because like I know I need to get this checked out, obviously, but like I got this weird like my left arm sometimes has like this it's weird like pain going like radiating, not like a heart thing because I work out every day and I don't think it's a heart.
Like
Obviously you work out every day.
I'm denying.
He doesn't drink anymore, and he doesn't.
I'm denying the obvious is what I'm doing. Like, no, it can't be my heart.
Obviously, I work out every day.
Well, I guess my point is, but when I do work out though, like I'll do push-ups and stuff like that. I can do those fine, and I can lift up my arms or do my arm exercises. But like, and I'll use like a massager on my back, and it's like, fuck, God, and so I think like because like pinched nerves can just affect your arms, obviously, right?
Sure. Oh fuck
like,
yeah, right?
Like anywhere, like can pinched nerves like or something in your back affect cause pain in your arm?
Yeah, everything. So
Yeah.
it starts at the brain, optic nerve, spinal cord, and then peripheral nerves. Yeah.
Because it's crazy. Because it's just amazing how all that chain reacts. Like,
oh yeah,
like Max's
But
sciatica.
what are you experiencing when you have the what's bothering you? If you have a massager on your back, it could be hitting a nerve.
Yeah, and it makes it feel better for a minute. Actually, the massage.
It makes it feel better to use it. Okay.
Yeah.
So when do you usually get it? When you're laying in bed? When you're when does it happen, or is it random?
It's random. It gets better and worse, but I think also it's because I think like posture in bed is causing it because I'm a side sleeper.
Okay.
And like I lay on my arms a lot, like I don't. So I just got to get checked out.
Do you feel it? No, don't get it checked out.
I wouldn't say
no, that's bullshit because they're not going to check it out. They're going to do an MRI. They're going to do conductivity tests. If I don't check it out or somebody like me doesn't check it out, don't get it checked out. Because the thing is, and I'm not glorifying myself, but I get so many people in here, well, I had a conductivity test on my nerve and they said blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, it doesn't make any sense. They don't know what to do with that stuff unless you have like nerve damage where a nerve is cut. Where do you feel the pain?
It's like
or the irritation?
It's like almost like my whole arm sometimes.
Okay. Are you stretching after you exercise?
Yes.
Do you stretch where you pull your arm across the front of your body?
Yes.
Stop doing that. It's the worst stretch you can do.
Okay.
Really?
What's a better one?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's a better one?
Stretch the other way. Stretch your pecs. Don't stretch your rhomboids by your shoulder blades. They're already overstretched. They're almost always on a chronic stretch.
Oh, so like, because I do a stretch where I'm on my trampoline where I put like cross my arms in front of my chest.
No.
Don't do that, huh?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Because nobody walks around. Here's the thing. In order for your muscles to move, the antagonist has to stretch, right? So otherwise it would snap. The muscle would snap. Nobody walks around chronically with their arms behind their back. What they do is they either have perfect posture or they have a little bit of shoulder rounding or protraction of the shoulder blade, which means the rhomboids by the shoulder blades and the posterior part of the shoulder is almost right where it needs to be or almost on a chronic stretch. So you don't want to stretch something that's already stretching. You're going to inhibit it. And then when you call on it to work, it doesn't know how to work.
Yeah.
It'll get stoned. And it'll be like, what do I do? And then the secondary muscles take over. And that's why your neck will start to work. And then ultimately nerve will get compressed.
So don't cross your chest over like you're a chick whose tits are exposed and they're going to be naked. Like
Exactly. Expose your tits.
Yeah. Okay.
So put your arms out like a bird. Is it like like
I do that too. I do a stretch where I always stretch where I stretch my arms out wide and jump on the trampoline where because my arms are out and
yeah, that will help. That will help. But expose, be proud of your tits. It's okay.
Really? So you shouldn't do the stretch where you cross your arms over your chest and like go left or right, or like, you know, like I'm saying, like turn your body left or right?
No. If you do that, just bend your elbows a little bit, and bring them away from your side. Bring your arms away from your sides, and then do the little turn left and right for your thoracic spine. But no, you do not want to be. Don't cover your tits.
Okay, don't cover my tits.
Don't cover
Show your
tits.
tits. Show your tits, like Howard Stern would say. You know?
Show 'em.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on,
Show 'em.
everyone. Don't
Yeah,
cover your tits.
Because it almost feels like a bone like my bone, like I don't know, it's like a nerve thing.
Oh,
It's like,
I've had that where it shoots down your. It'll.
Well,
like
it's
me.
tensioning the nerve in the back.
Hmm.
So you're actually feeling a tension on a nerve at the spine because the muscles are pulling away from the spine. There's a lot more too. I mean,
Yeah, you have to see. Yeah,
I'd have to see exactly what's going on with your body, but I do know that one is not a good idea for anyone to do.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yes.
That's just to learn all this shit. Well, you know, you remember I had something like that a few years ago. Remember, it was I had a shooting pain down my arm, and that's why I started going to Dr. John because of shit like that. You know, so yeah, I get it. It's the same deal. I don't know if you remember that though, cruise control, when I was having something similar going on like that.
Yeah, that was like a while ago, wasn't it? Years.
Oh yeah, that was shit. 10 something, well, like 15 years ago or so now.
Before you started going to him, right? Yeah.
So before I started what?
Before you started, like, right, that's why you started going to him.
To Dr. John. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was right around that time too. So, but
interesting. That's an interesting thought. That's another thing. What do you, because a lot of people have obviously you're not a chiropractor, you're a therapist, a physical therapist. What are your thoughts on Koala? What are your thoughts on chiropractors, depending on chiropracticians?
Chiropractics.
Yeah.
I think the practice itself can be fantastic, and I think there's a lot of assholes.
Yeah.
Because I just ran into somebody today who said, well, my chiropractor said that I shouldn't probably come in here because it won't do any good, but it couldn't hurt. But yet they've been treating this person for 3 months and he's not getting any better. So today was his first day seeing me, and I'm like, you absolutely should be here. Your chiropractor did what? Well, I just had an adjustment yesterday. I'm like, well, did he actually move anything? Because nothing's where it should be. So I don't know who you saw, but I wouldn't go back.
Yeah.
And I'm ruthless about that. But I am with a lot of things. I think it's as good as the person who does it, because I have an amazing chiropractor who I see. There are fantastic physical therapists. There are complete charlatans out there. There are fantastic doctors. There are complete charlatans out there.
Yes, absolutely.
It's pretty much, why are you in it? Are you willing to collaborate with other people if you're not getting the job done? Because there are times when I have to go, this normally should work, and I'm not getting the results I need. Who else can I call in to take a look at this?
Right. So in other words, you will consult with somebody else and say, hey, I'm working with this person that's not getting
Absolutely.
any better. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I do with my boss. He does with me. I do with I do with certain chiropractors that I trust, who I trust, because sometimes you need to have someone else just to take a look, and or even just who has hey, actually I released the diaphragm this way. Oh, that's totally different than I ever did. That worked, So I think chiropractic is an amazing science. I don't agree with high velocity adjustment on the neck. I just don't, because there's too many arteries and nerves that can get impaired by that. And in some states it's illegal even. So yeah, I don't agree with that. And I think where massage falls down is they work muscles and they don't work structure typically. Like the joints and the bones. Where chiropractic falls down is they work bones and joints and they don't work muscles. What you need to do is work both. And if neither practitioner is working both to a certain degree, go to someone else, because they're not doing you any favors.
It's crazy. So you're like, don't go to a regular doctor for this, or like, obviously not. Don't. You're not going to give that advice. To
No,
everybody else,
what are they going to do? What are they going to do? You know,
Prescribe your
there's
medicine.
Yeah,
they
they may
give you
put you
some
on something
Oxy.
too.
Yeah,
There's
they'll
some
put
pain
you on
pills.
Oxy. They'll put you on. I had somebody this take 4 Advil, so many times a day. And
Jesus.
actually, Advil is an analgesic, so it takes the pain away, but it also rips out your gut if taken in high doses. It's also a vasoconstrictor, and vasoconstrictors cause contraction of muscles ultimately. So it'll make a spasm worse.
You know what they were saying about the whole like Advil thing with me with my condition? That I shouldn't take that at all because it will prevent bone from
regenerating bone
again or from regenerating.
Yeah, so you actually had a good doctor because a lot of them will say take Advil, and it does. It weakens your bone. Huh. It prevents the osteoblasts from setting down.
So at first they gave me Tylenol with codeine, and I used it well. I probably used it like once a day. They usually want you to use it it's as needed, but it said like you can use up to 4 times a day. I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna endure some of this pain. I'm gonna deal with it for a while until I can't deal with it anymore. So I'd use it like once a day, and they're like, "All right, you did well with this. Now we're gonna give you some tramadol." And I'm like, "Okay, that's okay. I don't know if that's better or worse, whatever."
That actually sounds worse.
I've been using that like once a day, basically like you were saying, Koala, like basically at night.
That's use it. Use it when you need it. This is the amount that you can do, but use it when you need it because people have more of a propensity. Some people more than others have a propensity toward addiction, but everybody will get hooked if they take it every 4 hours for a long period of time because your brain stops producing dopamine.
Yes. Yep.
So then you start feeling pain, right? You'll feel pain.
Your brain, you don't have any when you get off of it. Your brain is not manufacturing its own dopamines. So you go from I'm taking dopamines to, oh shit, I don't have any ability to fight pain like I had even before my injury. And so that's why people go through withdrawals is one of the reasons because they don't have anything. Like you stub your toe, you're like, your body goes into that state. So that's why take it when you absolutely need it. Like if it's nighttime to help you lay down, great. Right. But some people feel pain stronger. Yeah, you can take it every 4 hours, but no, if you do that too often, you're going to get hooked.
Yeah, and that's like, well, you got hooked. You're an addict. You're addicted. It's like, no, your body is because you were told to take it.
Because your brain stopped doing what it needed to do. And that'll happen with melatonin. That'll happen with anything that your body normally produces. If you take it regularly all the time, your brain starts going, oh, good, I don't have to do that. I don't need to do it.
Well, then too, that's what starts getting these people hooked on these opiates too.
Well, codeine is an opiate.
Yeah, they're all opiates.
Right. So, and then it's cheaper. They buy it on the street, and before you know it, they're blowing dealers for Tina rocks and all kinds of shit.
Yes, there is that.
Tina rocks of codeine. Yeah.
Tina rocks of heroin or something. Or whatever. I don't know. I've never bought heroin, so I'm a little bit.
Well, you
gotta live a little, Max.
Right. I mean, come on now.
Maybe I should blow a dealer for a Tina rock one time, right?
I think could you do that for the next show?
I don't know. Give us a like, hey man, I blew this dealer, man, for a Tina rock.
I think it'll get us some more,
He ejaculated hot blast.
Max is gonna blow a dealer.
The cool thing is it was a girl dealer.
Okay.
That's right. He blew Tina for a dealer rock.
Oh, Tina for a Tina for a teener.
Tina for a dealer.
I guess if we have to go, okay, all right. We could do that.
It was Tina. It was Tina Teener, not Tina Turner.
Tina Teener.
It's my private
dealer.
She's my private dealer. She's dealing.
What's love got to do with it?
What you want me to do?
And exactly.
What's drugs got to do?
Got to do it.
Who needs the codeine when I've got tramadol?
We don't need another.
we don't need another addict.
Yeah. I'm sucking your cock. Dude. Suck it for a teen rock.
Oh shit.
Because my dopamine's been blocked.
Damn. See?
That's funny though that they're like what I think it is, Louie, I think they were like, he's not getting addicted to the oxycodone.
Right.
We need to get him some tramadol. Yeah, and you know what? You only do it once a day. No. Take this tram. This is gonna get him.
Actually, yeah, that's a good thing. A good question, because they first started with Tylenol.
You didn't need more.
Right, it was Tylenol with codeine first, right? That was your initial thing, and then they switched you to tramadol.
Yeah,
well, that's okay. That's weird.
Yeah,
because I guess they think they're kind of I think they're thinking he's not going to abuse it. If he really needs it, he'll use it only when he needs it.
Oh, you think so nicely of the doctor.
He doesn't think that he's
yeah, because
I have to think nicely. You know,
you're being so nice. I'm
just only up my dosage just because he cares. You know.
He's a naive he's a naive psychologist guy.
Okay.
I see the good in everyone.
They want me to feel better. I just
I know it.
I see some shady shit behind this.
Really?
That's funny though that they switched you.
Do tell. What's the shady shit?
No, you know the fact that they switched you from Tylenol, which is an over-the-counter drug.
No, Tylenol with codeine.
With codeine, yeah, with codeine. Okay,
it's like Tylenol 3, whatever it's called.
But still, okay, all right. So it's something that.
Why would they give you something stronger?
Right. Why are they giving you something
stronger now?
Right. Man. You don't need it, obviously.
Yeah.
Like he's like, guy, dude, he's lying. He's on like 7 of them right now. He's like,
no,
man, originally they said take aspirin, and 3 weeks after
I had them all fooled. He's Tylenol once a day. I got the tramadol.
We're gonna try different.
What I do notice though is every once in a while I'll have like the occasional like headache or backache, and I'm thinking, I should take the tramadol, and I'm like, no, I shouldn't.
Oh, so that's what fucks with you. That's how it starts, man.
It's your mind. It's your mind playing tricks on you, right? And then so I'm like, no, you shouldn't. What you should do is go. Exactly.
Yeah. He's crushing it up and mixing it with his cherry Dr. Pepper. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I just put a line in my cherry Dr. Pepper. You know.
But what I do have is just regular. I have just regular Tylenol. So if I have like a backache or a headache or something, I'm like, just take the regular Tylenol like you always used to. Like you don't have to use that for that. You use it for your knee. You don't use it for anything else.
Tramadol is very, very strong.
You know,
yes, I'm looking at it right now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, it just sounds bad. Tramadol, like what the fuck? You know,
it's like fuck it all.
It doesn't seem. No. The Robin Williams one.
Yes. The fuck. You guys, you know that.
Fuck it all. Yeah, that was Robin Williams.
When you're having issues and you just don't want to care, take some fuck it all.
By the way, speaking of popular references, I just noticed with Koala, soon as you say my mind's playing tricks on me, right away she started humming the little Ghetto Boys, the little but everybody will do that. That's what, no one can use that phrase anymore without thinking Ghetto Boys. Mind's playing tricks on me. It doesn't matter who, unless you're somebody who's from like Colon Tickle, Arkansas, and you never heard of the Ghetto Boys or something. But other than that,
or she is part of our generation, so like the younger generation wouldn't know anything about that either.
Yeah, that's not gonna come flying out.
No,
that's true.
Yeah, it's totally our age,
generational thing.
Our generation, If we hear that, we're gonna say Ghetto Boys. Mine's playing tricks on me.
Yeah, and there are people who aren't as cool as we are, and they would probably not do that, but
I don't know. Just every time I hear that phrase, right away,
touche.
I mean, you know, let's be serious here.
Let's just be serious here for a second. We're like the coolest kids on the block. What the fuck are you talking about?
There are some people who might not understand the reference to ghetto boys.
Well, didn't I? There was something years ago. I don't know, Cruise Control, if you remember this, but there was that stupid game we used to play at Improv. It was called Dinner or Family Dinner.
Yeah.
And they brought a kid up on stage, and I thought he would have been familiar. And I said something about, I want to go kick it or something. And the kid goes, what does that mean? And I just was like, this is a little nerdy motherfucker. So I went,
hey, you know what I was thinking? You know what I was thinking the minute that you said kick it? You know what I was thinking of? Can I kick it?
Yes, you may.
Can I kick it?
I thought it was about kicking your tramadol habit.
I don't have a tramadol habit.
I know, man.
Oh dear.
No, but you were talking about how you get used to and this is kind of where I was going a little bit earlier, is about you get used to like the dopamine hit or whatever it is, or the dopamine is not being produced.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That kind of brought up something in my head just now.
What's
that? Every once in a while, especially close to like nighttime, I get this stabbing pain in my knee. It's just like, ugh, like take that. And I'm like, I'm just standing up. I'm not even doing anything. You know what I mean?
So it's almost like your body knows.
Well, I guess it's time to take the tramadol.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. It's scary shit that what they give us.
That is kind of scary, man.
Well, I know. Try to see. Well, I don't want to give you. Should you? Can you just like stop using that, or is that something?
Yeah, you don't have. No, you don't have to titrate off it.
You don't have to do it.
No. Yeah.
And in fact, you ought to play with
me not to do it.
Well, you might want to just try a night without it, man. Just to see.
Or play with. Here's the deal: play with it. Like say, okay, I take it. Usually, I go to bed at 10, 11, whatever time you do. If you usually take your tram an hour before you go to bed, or whenever you take it, whenever you take your tram, just take your tram. Maybe not at all, or if you get up to take a piss at night or something, maybe take it then. Maybe just see if you need it. That's what I tell people is like, take it if you need it means take it if you need it.
Right.
Don't assume you're gonna need it, because then
no,
you're already on it.
I don't assume that. Well, okay, I guess that's kind of I think there's times where I will assume that I will need it. Well,
at nighttime is a good, because you don't want to have to think about taking it too late at night either, because then you're groggy in the morning or something. But tramadol doesn't really leave you too groggy in the morning. It's not really a groggy one. It doesn't. So you can play with that one. That's why it's one of the better, I think, to take for that reason. But it will kind of leave you a little shifty, like anxious, when you come off it, if you take it too much, be like, so, well, depending on how sensitive you are to it. People really get on almost a timer with that shit though. It's weird. People it's like, ding, my tramadol. I mean, seriously, so many people that I know who've taken it are very
definitely
much
not like that.
No, I wouldn't think you would be, because you are very cautious about taking things. But it is something.
My parents were drug addicts, so I don't kind of mess.
Well, it's also your field of study.
That's where you're at. You're a substance abuse counselor.
My field of study too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's that's my primary population, but it's not my only population.
Right?
Yeah, of course. But
you're very well versed in the substance abuse.
So you know where that, because I'm sure you've dealt with people who have been on these same kind of substances for the same, and that's a scary thing. Like, why are you on drugs? You must be an addict. You must have an addicted personality. No, I broke my leg and I had to take painkillers.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom, all of a sudden I needed him.
And that's funny, yeah, because I used to think like that, like, oh, this fucker went and picked up a fucking heroin needle and just went,
Nope.
No,
like,
a lot of it
here's
is
the,
so
here's the
bad.
deal, though. But here's the deal, though. I honestly feel as though we all have addictive personalities. We're just all in. Some of us are in
That's very
denial
true.
about having.
Or we're addicted.
I would agree.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I agree
Everybody
with that. Yep.
well,
does.
and that's why there's certain drugs we just won't do.
Well, and also
Right.
there's certain things
Right.
like what is
What is an addiction?
I've got to have my ice cream after I have my blah
Yep.
blah blah, or even
Yeah.
I've got to take my walk after I do. We are patterned. We are pattern animals.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
we are not any better than other animals in that respect. We think that we are, but we're not. We are very patterned. Like, well, I always have my. Why do you have to have your coffee? I don't believe a lot of people have caffeine headaches. I think some people do. I never have. I have a hard time giving up coffee. Okay, I have a hard time
big-time
giving up
caffeine
coffee
addict.
because
So you do get
I like my coffee. That's all
Okay.
it is. I just like it.
Sure.
I hate
Sure.
not having my coffee, and it doesn't have to do so much with the caffeine because I have dark roast that I drink that has lesser caffeine in it because I like the taste of dark roast. But sometimes it's just like, son of a bitch, I didn't get my cup of coffee this morning. I'm a bear. Are you low energy? No, I'm just pissed because I didn't have my coffee.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing about addictions. Everyone has addictions.
Oh, yeah.
But my thing is, I think I am sometimes low energy. Or a lot of times I'm low energy, or maybe that's my excuse to go grab some kind of energy drink.
Right, I need something to boost.
Because I'm not a coffee drinker, but I'm an energy drinker.
Oh, okay, yeah, those are.
I'll take an energy drink.
Yeah,
not the like Monsters and the Rock Stars and all that. No,
okay, yeah, those are pretty
Bang.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, or Jolt.
Yeah, not even Bang.
Bangs are crazy. They have 300 milligrams of caffeine in those.
Yeah, 300 milligrams.
Well, even the name. Even the name.
Yeah, I know, right?
Ridiculous.
I know. I got some bang.
But what about that thing that was used to be called Jolt? They still make that anymore?
No, but the Jolt Cola, yeah, but that's when it was cool to have caffeine,
Oh yeah, they had them
now
at that was like a big thing. Like, hey man, I'm gonna.
How much did it have
in college? How much caffeine?
Yeah, it had a lot, but it had a lot of caffeine for back then, but it compared to the caffeine in Bang or something like now,
not at all
it's
now.
Not even close. Because
it would be like a double Coke.
Yeah, or double Mountain Dew.
And it had double the sugar. It was basically it tasted like a very sugary Coke.
Yeah.
And it was double sugar and caffeine, probably. I'd have to know the exact reading on it, but no, compared to Bang or any of these.
I drink an energy drink that's off brand, but it's 120 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah, which is
and I only drink that once a day. Yeah, I only drink that once a day, and and sometimes I don't even drink it. Like some days I'm just like, I'm cool, I'm good, I don't need it today, and I'll just go.
For about your size, you could. I mean, I don't know how what your dimensions are, but most men can do.
I'm a strapping young lad.
Okay, for you, for a strapping young lad like yourself, you could easily.
Yes, you go to the gym every day. You build muscle.
My goodness.
Well, they say.
What are
Can't you hear how hot I am over the
strapping? Strapping something on. Wait, I mean, no.
But you could have about 200 milligrams. I mean, most people can, like even my size, I'm not very big. So, for all you people out there, just to know,
Put a little disclaimer in it.
I'm not a strapping young lad.
She's 6'8" and has to stoop to get in a normal house. No.
Yes. But but I could have one of those a day, and it's actually okay for you. The problem is caffeine got to be the devil because people abused it. Now it's like it's not the devil because now it's in workout drinks, and everybody wants to work out to be fit.
Oh, it's terrible. It's not
sand
that
is
great
not
for you, really.
necessarily healthy. It's
No.
not that great for you, really, but it's not that bad for you in a normal dose. Like I have
Moderation.
1 or 2 cups in the morning, and I
Yeah.
don't have a heavy dose of caffeine for my strapping young self. And and it's okay.
I cut it out
know.
completely for a while, and I took a 50 milligram caffeine. Like I get like these 50 milligram pills with like some L-theanine, but it's great. But people, the max you're supposed to have a day. But I cut out because it would make me nervous, and I think I'm caffeine sensitive. Like I can even that 50 milligrams to make me go, oh, blah, 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 you know.
Well, that's
drink a lot more of it.
Really.
And speaking of working out, my brother wanted he suggested I get one of these. It's called Monster Workout or something like that. And
No,
it's powder. Yeah, see, and
no.
he was like, oh, it'll improve your circulation. It'll be great.
But no, it does not. And what it does is it's like, look, if I did a bunch of meth, I could work out like a fucking tiger.
Well, okay, now listen, I never used meth, but that's what I imagine meth to feel like because the few times I tried it, yeah, I had a lot of energy, but I felt like I was about to have a stroke. Like, oh shit, you know,
Let me
it was
tell
not
you a
good.
really scary story.
Okay.
Okay. One day at the gym.
Okay.
Actually, one of our a guy had taken, I don't know which pre-workout he took, but it was one of, of course it was safe because it was a pre-workout.
Of course.
And he took one of those and got totally jacked up. Had also, I don't know if he'd had a lot of caffeine or if he'd also been doing anything else, but he had either a lot of coffee with the pre-workout, didn't need to have anyway, went to play basketball. Now, pre-workouts are designed more for weightlifting than they are for cardio.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
see,
he had a heart attack.
Oh shit.
Oh,
that's...
he was down. Our manager, I almost had to get in there to do CPR. I was next in line because the manager came in to do it. He was about worn out doing it. And then they got the machine and used the machine on him. He was oxygen deprived his heart was not beating for 8 minutes.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
Wow.
See,
He's
that's
lucky he doesn't have brain damage.
That's crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
see, I and that's what I do. I do cardio primarily. I don't
You
really
do not ever do pre-workouts for cardio. Ever.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Because your heart rate is going to spike by you doing the cardio. Not that you should do pre-workouts at all, but but if you're gonna do them if you're gonna be lifting heavy objects. But still, it also changes how in shape you are. Like, are you really? Here's my thing. You're a pussy if you need to do pre-workout to lift weights, in my opinion, because you're not actually getting an accurate read on what you can lift.
What you can do.
Right, because you might have extra superpower strength on this shit.
And anybody can quote me on that because I've done it years ago. I took a pre-workout. I had done an anaerobic threshold test on a bike, and that was madness. Like it was, I didn't take the pre-workout for that, but I took it after. And what you do is you go basically as hard as you can go. And they see how high your heart rate goes when you're at your max. And so you have to really push yourself to the limit. And then I got off the bike and I thought, oh shit, I have a training session with so-and-so in an hour. And I forgot about that. I'm burned. And so one of the guys at the gym I fortunately only took like a little bit of his pre-workout, but I took it. Man, I have never lifted more weight in my life. I was like fucking Sylvester Stallone or Arnold or whoever you want to say. I was like, I was dead. I have never deadlifted over 200 pounds.
Well, see,
I usually deadlift maybe like 150, and I was going for it, and I felt great. Couldn't come down. Even after going to the bar that night with my brother because they were in town, I didn't get to bed till 3 a.m.
Oh shit!
Damn, yeah.
See, that's what happened to me. What scared me is I got off I did the climber, then I did the treadmill, and I get off the treadmill and I got like a head rush, a headache, and all kinds of. And I'm like, ooh, this isn't, you know, and like I said, again, I've never used meth, but I would only assume that that's what that's got to feel
No,
like.
that probably isn't as good as meth, but that's just my opinion.
Well,
Not that I would know
in my
anything.
mind, that would just be, you know, what it would
No,
be like.
but the thing about those, it just depends on what you do.
Secretly, Cruz controls a meth head.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, no, mouth is
That's why he
Who
doesn't
do you-
drink anymore.
That's why I don't drink any. That's why I don't do any caffeine either. Who needs caffeine when you got meth? Actually, I have been taking one supplement though that I've actually felt. No, I'm serious.
All right. Tell us about your supplement.
Well, first of all, I'll go back to caffeine real quick. The maximum amount you're supposed to have a day, because I actually study this shit myself too, is 400 milligrams.
Yeah,
so when you have one of those bang, and that's
kind of
a
a
day.
lot, though.
Not for a cup of coffee. No, a cup of coffee is about 120, 110, 120. So
yeah, a
4
lot of
cups
people,
of coffee.
Yeah.
A lot of people have.
But what I'm saying is, you could
coffee.
have like 3 of those. You could have 3 of those, and you've reached your max. I mean, that's pretty good.
You're not talking about a Starbucks coffee. You're talking about a normal 8-ounce cup of coffee. A Starbucks coffee is your daily amount. Like a venti, a frappuccino, or whatever the hell you're having, a venti coffee is over 400 milligrams in itself. So people will just take way too much caffeine.
Oh wow!
Shit.
Yeah.
But one supplement that is actually very good for you, and people don't understand it, is creatine.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful. Kidneys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that actually was one study they did a while ago, but there's so much more that creatine does for your body. And as long as you're not taking fucking 20.
I'm sensing an argument occurring here in a little bit.
No, but that's the problem. What I'm getting at is the problem is that people don't.
See, I don't think Cruise Control would argue with Koala. He'll argue with me all fucking.
My spidey sense is telling me there's an argument.
No, there's not. There's not, because my point was that you have to actually do the actual like research in terms of like actual like studying, not just one YouTube guy who you like I like this YouTube guy. Like, I've looked at this shit like all over the internet, looking at different studies and different things. The problem with people is they think, oh well, I can just keep taking 20 milligrams or 20 grams a day. It's like, no, because it builds up in your body over a certain amount of time, and you don't need as much as they say you do.
Right.
Yeah. The thing is that you have to be careful who your sources are when you're quote
exactly. That's why you don't use one source. Well. You don't go on. You don't use Dr. Berg or whoever the fuck else.
Well, you don't use the most popular hit on YouTube.
Yeah. Like, what's that guy that everybody loves? Dr. Oz or whatever the guy is.
Oh yeah,
he's old news, man. He's like 20 years old.
I actually have a picture with Dr.
He's
Oz.
old, but
Dr. Oz.
But Max has a point, though. I mean, he was basically a fraud. He was basically
He was
like,
the Jesus of doctors for a long time. Everybody was like,
"Oh, it was like Dr. fucking Dean Adele, right?" Everybody, all the housewives. Oh, Dr. Dean Adele said it. I'm like, well, he's a fucking eye doctor who's talking about your, know, UTIs.
Yeah,
I don't want an eye doctor telling me about that.
And unfortunately, a lot of these doctors are chiropractors. They happen to. I'm telling you, like they're like, there's all these doctors on YouTube. They have a doctor of chiro because it's an easier doctor, quote unquote, to get
doctorate. Yeah,
I need to be a doctor. I gotta be a doctor, guys. I gotta be a doctor.
You can do it.
I need to do it. I need Dr. Koala.
Dr. Koala.
I gotta do it just to be able to tell people to fuck off.
Yes.
I got my doctorate. You can fuck yourself.
One thing you don't want to do though is you don't want to go because YouTube is people go on YouTube for advice on nutrition, and
medicine,
that's the fucking worst shit you can. But don't it? It's so funny because one week they'll say this is the greatest thing for you. The next week they'll say the same person will say, like, there's people that think that plants will kill you. That plants are trying to kill you because it has oxides in it, and it's like, you don't eat all, because what they'll do is it's like any other cult like thing. They'll say
like the flat Earth fuckers, right?
Well, it's like, I'm a carnivore diet. I only eat meat, and so they're like, and if you eat plants, you're killing yourself. And it's like, no, we've been
eating plants for a long time.
Yes.
And we got a little smarter when it's like the raw food fuckers.
Well, that's the thing.
Those guys.
There's two sides.
Kill you. See, the thing is, our brains started getting bigger when we started cooking food.
Yeah.
If you track evolution. Now, maybe it happened just accidentally, maybe, who knows? But I don't think so. I think there's a correlation. Maybe not. But the creatine, though, I'm interested.
Well, because creatine basically is a natural thing you get from meat.
Correct.
And you get it from it, but a lot of people don't eat a lot of meat, so supplementing it. But what it does is it basically sucks the water into your muscles, into your cells.
Yeah, it goes into the intercellular.
Yeah, but people don't realize that 5% of creatine goes to your brain. So it actually, they're studied, and the thing about creatine is they've had thousands and thousands of studies on it, like, because it's been studied for like the last 30 years, and there's so much information on it and what it does. That it's in like the kidney study was like one study they picked that it's not nearly as prevalent as they said it was. I have to look at the stuff, but it actually gives you energy. It does help you work out in certain ways, but more along the line, it's actually a good general supplement, excuse me, to take when you're older. Or if you don't eat a lot of red meat, like or different kinds of meats, because it's not. But the problem what people do is there's something called front loading, or what you do is you load up the first 7 days, which is like something you do with creatine, where you take 20 milligrams a day for the first 7 days, and it builds up because it builds up in your system basically, and then it stays there. At a certain amount, you don't need any more. So what people do is they'll do 20 milligrams a day. The morons will go, well, I'm doing 20 grams, 20 grams a day. I'm going to continue to do 20 grams a day for the next. No, you go down to 3 grams a day, or 3 to 5 grams a day, if you want to continue on the supplement, and you cycle off after a month or so. But the thing about creatine is you don't have to do that. If you want to, you can start with 3 to 5 grams a day, and if you do that it'll build up. It'll build up the same exact way as if you did the first 7 days, 20 grams a day. But people always like more is more. Like people like these fucking caffeine drinks, like Bang caffeine. That's one of those fucking cans is there's 3/4 of the amount they recommend daily for people, and people are drinking 2 or 3 of those fucking things a day.
Damn. So you're right. It is the more is better. So it gives you more energy.
Yeah.
So gotta be good.
With the creatine, where it got a bad rap too, is not just how much people were taking, but there is when you take in your water, so creatine is supposed to go into your intercellular.
Yeah.
So what people were doing is not paying attention also to how they were hydrating. So when you drink while you're eating, it goes into your intracellular, not into your intercellular. So that's why when people have like bariatric surgery and things like that, they say don't drink more than 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes before you eat, because the water absorbs differently into the different parts of your body, depending on when you're eating. If you're digesting, water absorbs differently. It goes into the organs versus the muscles. So when you're taking creatine, if you want it to go more into the organs, you want to take it more closely with food.
Yeah, or protein. Yeah, because it works well with protein.
Right. Well, exactly. With food, anything that you're eating, you want to take it with protein, ideally, but also with anything that you're eating. You don't want to just start taking it with water, because what was happening is people were taking it and it was getting into the intracellular, into the muscles, and so that actually was fucking the kidneys.
Yeah, because they wouldn't hydrate after they ate the creatine. So that's the kidney issue, is that you're not hydrating, so your kidneys get damaged.
Well, but also if they were taking it just during the day without eating, it's exactly tantamount to not exercising and then going to Soul Cycle, getting on a bike and having some instructor tell you to just pump it up as hard as you can. Too much blood was coming into the muscles in one time. Too much was stagnating. And then you have a toxicity into the muscles, and that goes right into the kidneys. And that's a lot of what was happening with creatine. Folks, that's why I say be careful with creatine.
Yeah,
we turned this into a health podcast right here.
Right. But actually, there was a thought I had about, like I said, like I know we were talking about addiction, and of course I've been dealing with that myself, and how the dopamine hit. No, I'm talking, but I want to talk about how the crutch of, because something I was thinking about, and I was going to bring it up to this, and this is kind of a different kind of subject. Oh, first of all, back to addiction. I got a joke for you guys. It's a one-liner. We were studying Pavlovian psychology and Pavlov's dogs in school, and I thought it was it was fucking nonsense. It was fucking bullshit. But then we had to stop because of lunch. The bell rang and we had to go to lunch.
Oh, wow.
No, but my point is that everyone's it's the same thing. It's the bell. The addiction is the bell ringing that makes you go to lunch.
Right, to react. Oh, that makes me hungry. It makes me think of this.
I'd say I'd say operant conditioning.
Yeah.
Well, that's your ghetto boys
Skinner,
thing.
it's more the if I don't do it, it's
right.
the punishment. Yeah, like when the pellets.
Yes and no. So the actual bell ringing thing was actually a good classical conditioning kind of metaphor or use of classical conditioning. But yeah, operant conditioning has to do with rewards and punishments. So
that's
a lot of times when it comes to addiction, with addiction, it's definitely operant conditioning. You get a positive boost of dopamine.
Yeah.
Or in my case, the pain goes away. So it's like, oh, well, you're taking something away that I don't like. Yes. So that's like more like negative reinforcement in a sense. You're taking something away that I don't like.
And it goes with a couple of things. And where I was going with this was there's a couple of things. First of all, like when you don't use your leg, like when you don't, like let's say when your leg is fully healed and you start doing physical therapy with that leg, like you said, like you're using the other leg to compensate, and it's almost like what you're doing now with your pills is that you don't want to get to the point where you're using that to compensate for just dealing with the pain. And I think that's where other addictions, but it also works emotionally too, is what I found, is that you get your emotional ability to deal with emotional stress and anxiety atrophies just as much as a physical thing when you use other things to deal with those emotional things.
Well, that's true, because you're like, oh man,
what's crazy is that I just thought of this.
Yeah.
I just thought of this, and it's weird because of all my training, it had to take place right here, right now.
Yeah.
I realized, because everybody says that, all the psychologists will say that something that's negatively reinforcing is much more powerful than something that's positive reinforcing. So basically, positive reinforcement is you get a reward for doing something, right? That's like the basic thing. Okay, you work, negative, you get money,
a punishment for doing something, right?
No, well, negative is something gets taken away that you don't like, so it feels great to you because you're like, oh, I don't like that feeling, so I'm going to take it away, and so it creates, in a sense, it creates a positive thing, because it's like, oh, if I keep doing this, then that negative thing that I don't like, it keeps going away. So a lot of times people use drugs to get away from feelings, to get away from, my life is shit, or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like,
that takes away.
I'm pissed off. I need a cigarette.
It takes away,
or something.
Yeah, exactly. So it takes away the emotional pain that they don't want to feel. That's why it's more habitual. And I never even thought about that until now.
Well, that's why people will do physical therapy that doesn't work, because they don't. But I don't like being unable to do this, so I keep going to this doctor who's doing this. I'm like, but you're not getting better. Yeah, but he says I'll get better, and I don't like being unable to work. So they keep going to a negative place, hoping that if they keep doing this thing, that's because it's supposed to give them positivity, but it takes away for their lack of doing something, but it actually creates a lack of doing something. So that's an interesting thing that we do. Our brains fuck us over a lot, where we kind of go, but if I just keep doing this because I don't want this, like, well, no, you're not getting what you want. You just think you will. By the way, when you start doing PT, make sure they work both your legs. Just saying.
Do I need to work? Do I need to have physical therapy though?
I'm sure you will.
I'm just, literally walking.
No.
I
don't think
it depends. I mean, now that you've been able to put weight on the leg and you've been walking on it.
Need to. Can you walk?
I think so. I mean, I use the walker
here's what you're going to need PT for. If you need it at all, you're going to need it for your hip.
Oh, this was the sciatic shit I was telling you about, dude.
That's not the sciatic shit. Would you get off your sciatic shit? It's not the femoral nerve.
That's where you feel the pain, though. It's in your hip, right? It shoots. My shit used to shoot from my hip to my foot.
I know it did. Your shit did. When you have a tibia break, it doesn't do that.
Well, wait. I had a tibia break. That's what it was. I
know, but you also you got.
So is there a such difference? Yeah, is there a such difference between a tibia break and a tibia fracture? Like, is fracture basically a break? I mean, is that what it is, or is it just a crack?
So a fracture is a break. Stress fracture is a partial fracture. Hairline fracture is another type of fracture. It depends on the fracture. Also depends on where. And it depends on if it bothered the tibial nerve, which it may not have, because it depends on where the fracture is.
Well, okay. So I was told I evulsed the tibia. That's what happened to me.
Oh, well, then you had a stress fracture.
Oh, so it was a fracture, just like Louie has.
Stress. Right? It was a stress fracture.
So therefore, he may get some sciatic shit.
That's not a complete stress fracture.
Walking around.
Oh my God!
He's so stuck on that. That's so hilarious.
An avulsion fracture is a stress fracture. It's not a complete fracture. I hate to tell you, you did not break your leg,
Louie. All you got to do now is just get when you get the sciatica, just drink a shitload of creatine with some water, and you'll be fine.
Right.
Oh yeah,
sure. No energy work, no pre-workout shit.
Sound advice.
Take some pre-workout, then cross your arms across your chest while you're drinking.
No, I'm sorry, Max. Did you not land at some point when you got hit?
Did I not land? Yeah, I landed on my ass. Yes.
Okay, that's what caused your fucking sciatica.
No, really?
Yeah. Yes. Well, your sciatic nerve start. Yeah. Okay. Let me explain what I do.
Well, until I start walking around.
Okay.
No.
Let me explain. Really? Okay. Do you know where your sciatic nerve starts?
What situation?
I'm
trying
to
think in my mind's eye. What situation where he wouldn't have landed?
Right.
I went up in the sky. I never came down.
Well, no, but I meant on your side. Maybe on your side, right?
Oh no, I landed on my ass.
You landed on your ass. So you compressed your lumbar spine. Your sacrum got compressed into your pelvis.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so you seem to know really well where your sciatic nerve is. So tell me where it is.
It's in your back, right?
No. Okay. Yes, it kind of is. But
it goes
down. There's a notch, and it goes right, kind of like up into your butt, up a little bit,
above your asshole. Yes,
a little bit above, but the ligament compresses it. And what it did, it wasn't the break in your tibia that affected it at all. It didn't help it.
Right.
What happened was when you landed, you pulled the sacrotuberous ligament, and that pulls over the notch, and it compresses a muscle, your piriformis, into the sciatic nerve. That's what did it, and the nerve innervates into the tibial nerve.
So it wasn't until I was actually fully walking that I felt that, huh? Because that's when I started to feel that.
Well, also because that's when the scar tissue formed. The scar tissue was scarring it down.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, scar
by the way,
tissue
but
didn't form right away.
just remember, Koala, this is the guy who is willing to walk out of his with a bleeding, seeping wound on his leg because he was tired of the cast. So just like, I'm not put. If this doctor says I got to keep wearing this damn thing, fuck him. I'm rather.
Right.
Well, you guys remember
but it was not your break, because if your break was it, you would have felt it before you wouldn't have walked. If your break, here's the deal: if a fracture affects a nerve, that's serious. If a fracture impairs a nerve, it'll affect a nerve, of course, at some point. But if a fracture impairs a nerve, you're not walking.
See, because I was always told that it was because I was favoring the other knee.
No. It's because you landed on your ass.
It's interesting. Well, maybe these people that told me that didn't realize I landed on my ass. Where else could I have landed, though? You know,
on your side.
I could
on your side, on your back.
Yeah, I could have fallen on my dick. I guess.
No, you could have landed on your front. Forward. You could have landed on your, no. But even so, and maybe
you could have also not landed.
Yeah, I could have not landed.
I could just land on my dick and just bounce like a pogo stick, right? I'd be like, boing,
like a kickstand.
That's when I wouldn't have landed.
But no, if you landed on one side and you have sciatica on one side, it's because the contusions were on that side, and the scar tissue, the osteoblasts formed right over the nerve. That's what it is.
Ah, wow. Okay. Huh.
I get that. I understood exactly what you said.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. But Louie, when you start dealing with your sciatic shit,
it's funny because everybody who's ever hurt themselves has an opinion about what's going to happen.
Yep, that's true.
Like even down to my dad. My dad had like a really bad knee injury in Vietnam, right?
Right.
And so he was like, well, when you're having to do physical therapy, it's going to be difficult. And it's going to be this. And every once in a while, your knee's going to give out. And I'm like, I don't think I had the same injury as you did. It's not.
Yeah, you know what?
Exactly
Actually, it's funny.
You know,
when you get
we're the same physical therapist.
That is, but that's an interesting.
Right.
This goes into psychology because it seems like whenever we get hurt or sick, all of a sudden we become experts in some kind of field of medicine, whatever the hell it may be.
Oh, I love you guys.
You know how it goes?
I deal with you every day.
You think you know what the fuck you're doing and talking about? Oh yeah. Well, even like I thought I was the man with wounds. I thought I was the wound guy. When I was like, don't.
But you do. But that's actually, you know what? That is it, and I think that's a huge thing that you say with dealing with it on a psychological perspective. That one of the things that we do is we have to give credit to that. I'm joking with you and I'm like, I'm fucking with you about your sciatica. Right. But if you came in, I would actually, and you had another injury on if you ever, cracked your other tibia or something else, one of the things I would have to do is work with you on, I would listen to your story, I would acknowledge it, and then I would explain less sardonically than I did how it works.
No, I think I like the sardonic version.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I was actually
but get you kind of, yes, you do own that injury. You own that. Like that is yours,
Totally.
And of course you understand that. Let me explain to you what is actually happening here in the tissues. And so, because we don't want to dismiss it, because that's where I think a lot of people are getting curmudgeonly, at least I am, with healthcare now, is that you go in, and I had a woman, actually 3 people yesterday tell me, you're the first person that asked me questions about my digestion, about my sleep, about my lifestyle, how stressed I am, all these things doctors should be asking. And it didn't.
They never have time. They have a 15-minute window to see you.
They got to be out on the golf course in 15 minutes. God damn it!
Well, no, but it's not all their fault. A lot of it is the fault of the structures of how our medical system is set up.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what he's talking about.
And also how they're taught. They're not taught to look at the whole body. So holistic is whole. You know, I don't even like the term, but really looking at the whole body. And so, you know, a lot of it is acknowledging like, yeah, okay, you know, your father in Vietnam had a very different experience in PT than you're going to have on so many levels.
Right.
And, but his is his experience. And so one of the hardest things is when I get people who may have been in Vietnam. Well, I know how this works. I went through. I'm like, well, no, let's try to get you into. You're in my room now. You know, you're not in the veterans hospital at Vietnam. You're actually here.
It is 50 years later.
Yes, and we're going to do things differently. You have a very different
things
injury.
have changed. Yeah.
But
And
I still totally respect
back when I was fighting Charlie, man.
But you want to give them credit for the injury because part of it is their survival. They had, you know, I survived it. Okay,
yeah, of course.
You know, so there's
what's funny is that I think that I have a good knee specialist, at least I think I do because of the tramadol situation that you're telling me about. But but the knee specialist basically said, I'm glad that you, because my friend told me, hey, go to the heart hospital that's here and get your x-ray done because they have equipment that will do orthopedic x-rays that they can see you right away. And I'm like, cool. Well, because they're the heart
so you don't have to
hospital,
wait for an x-ray kind of thing. Is that what they're saying?
Right. Right. But because they're the heart hospital, they also don't have equipment to do any kind of a fix on your leg. Right.
Okay.
And so all they said was, go see the specialist on Monday. Well, I go see the specialist on Monday. He's an old dude, but he seems like he knows what he's talking about, right? Okay. And he says, I'm glad that you went to the heart hospital. And I said, why? He said, because if you went to any other emergency room, they would have stuck you with plates and screws immediately.
Yes, sir. You're in Texas?
And yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he said, and I don't want you to do that. I want you to actually heal on your own without any plates and screws.
Oh, okay.
And so that's I didn't have any kind of surgery done. I'm just healing on my own.
And the thing, see, why I ask about Texas is out here in California or Oregon or most of these PC states that he never would have admitted it. And he would have probably had to put screws in you. And you would not have healed well. No. And ER guys are the worst. ER is for, I'm having a heart attack. I got shot. I got stabbed.
So immediate
That's what they're for. They are to keep you alive. They are not to do things. Every fucked up orthopedic operation I've ever treated in rehab was ER.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I had knee surgery in an ER.
Yeah, there you go.
Sciatica.
My sciatica.
Sciatica.
Sciatica. You know.
Great example, Max.
That's some real shit, though. The paramedics picked me up, took me to the ER. That's where I wound up at Desert Springs.
Took me to the ER. They took me to the ER.
No, wait a second, though. Now hold on a second, though.
Yes.
Because I didn't even realize that. I thought you went to the ER, they diagnosed you with the issue, and then they got a specialist to usually do the surgery.
They can get specialists to do it. Yes.
Yes. Because instead of just like some doc, well, we're gonna put screws in your leg because you gotta but that's
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that he was saying that the heart hospital doesn't have the equipment to do it, so they just sent you home with a brace. They just gave you a brace, told you to come see me, and sent you home. He said if you would have went to any other emergency room,
they could have done.
They would have had an orthopedic specialist there with the right equipment, and they would have stuck plates and screws in you, and you would have had surgery. Well,
and some of the orthopods, are really good and may not have done it, or may have braced you and said, "Come see me later." But you got to understand there's three real money makers in hospitals, and this actually comes from a doctor that I work on. He actually left.
Oh, he spilled it,
his-
huh?
Well, no, he left his position because of a fatality because of this problem. So orthopedics, neurology, and cardiology. That's where they make money in the hospitals. Those are the money makers.
Yeah.
So when you get
those are some pretty, the heart, the brain, and
bones. But he said one of the problems is because those are money makers, some surgeons do more than they should a day. Not more than they should because of not more than they should because of
like
what
that.
they can do, but more than they should because they can't cauterize arteries fast enough. So if you get a guy, I do 5 hips a day, don't go to him. Because that's 5.
He's doing it too
that
fast.
means he should maybe do 3. It means he's working too fast. And so this guy actually there was a fatality in the hospital where he worked because one of his colleagues did too many and he couldn't cauterize an artery fast enough. And the guy witnessed the surgery and he complained.
Damn.
And he was brought up.
Hey, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna get some more beer.
So he was brought up by the administration and they said, well, we need him, he's one of our best surgeons. And the guy said, well, is he your best or is he the one that's doing the most? Because, that's sloppy. And so they said, no, this is what blah, blah, blah. And they didn't discipline the guy for bringing him, bringing the other guy up. But he just finally said, you know what? No, I'm going to go work for one of the medical schools, hospitals, like, one of the medical schools like Stanford or, any of those where they have actually a hospital, but a medical school as well.
Right.
And he said, because they're in the business of turning out good doctors. That's where I'm going to work. I'm not going to work for you. So he left. But he told me that story. He said, these are the money makers. So if you ask how many, if you're going to have an operation, ask how many the guy does a day.
Yeah.
It's crazy that I didn't realize that they would just, if you say broke your arm in the emergency room,
they might
and go to the risen and they that there was a chance they would just do surgery on you right then. I always thought that they would stabilize the arm and then they would find somebody.
That's what they should do.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
That's what they should do, and that's what they did do in my situation.
But and sometimes they can
don't
get
always do
right
that.
Away.
Apparently,
yeah. Sometimes they can get somebody right away who is skilled, but usually somebody who's going to do that right away. Anyone who's going to do surgery on right away without actually analyzing the full impact of what's going on, you're not in a trauma. You're not going to die. So there's no reason to do emergency surgery on a broken arm or a broken leg. Yeah. So any orthopedic surgeon who does that right away, in my opinion, is crap. Because
in my case, my tibia. In my case, my tibia wasn't displaced.
Right,
is what he said.
Yeah. It's
so
not. If it's non-displaced fracture, it's sitting. It's already knitting. It's already knitting back. Non-displaced fracture, you don't ever do surgery. You just stabilize it because that's the whole point of setting a bone is you place it. So if it's a non-displaced fracture, it's going to reset itself. You just stabilize it, and then the osteoblasts are going to come in. It's going to knit.
Interesting.
But,
so those are definitely. I guess you can't really do those too fast because you're going to fuck up something for sure.
Well, you need to know also because of sciatica, but true. but true. You need to know where is the problem? How am I going to affect this nerve? Am I going, surgery has to be studied, even if you've done them 1,000 times. The surgeon needs to look at the case and study it. And so if it's not a trauma where it's like, holy shit, get the guy in there, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
That's go in, do what you got to do. If you fuck up, you fuck up.
Sure.
He's going to die anyway.
Remove the bullet, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Pack cellophane in the sucking chest wound if you have to, whatever. Just battlefield shit.
Like, there's some life-saving things. Yeah.
that is what you do in those cases. But otherwise, you should always study, how do you do the sutures? How do you do? And this isn't just me. I work on surgeons. So this is coming from, because I questioned them because I had a surgery that was done not well. Well, no, they put my arm together well, but there was a lot of other stuff that was not done well. So I don't like doctors because of that. I do like I've just had bad experiences psychologically.
Bad experience, doctor experience.
So you said you broke your arm, or what did you do?
I broke my arm rock climbing. Yeah.
Oh,
So I have 6 screws and a plate. I woke up under the anesthesia.
Didn't that affect your sciatica later?
Fucked with my head. No, my sciatica is fine, but no, I woke up under the anesthesia.
Because she didn't fall on her ass.
So I did not fall on my ass. I fell on my arm.
Oh, okay. All right. At least you were fully armed.
Hey, that reminds me. I fell directly on my leg, so that's probably why it really.
Why you don't? You may have some tibial nerve dysfunction.
Yeah. But besides the normal dysfunction, Betty.
But I don't think you will. I'm giving you one. You might have a little nerve compression edema. I doubt you will.
Koala's anatomy.
But what
on ABC.
What is that? What is that though? What does that mean?
It means if you actually impacted right where the nerve is, it'll bruise the nerve. But I don't think it did.
What will that cause? Like pain or?
Usually pain. Usually it's more in the exposed areas of the nerve. It would. No, he's weight bearing. He's fine. And most people have a hard time weight bearing. It usually causes a lot of swelling. It usually causes a lot of pain that just like, gosh,
for a while I wasn't. Hurts. Yeah, for a while I wasn't weight bearing, but now I am.
But you're still healing from a fracture. If you had, we typically see that more like if something gets slammed. Like say you get in a car accident and your shin gets slammed against the car or the console or something like that, and you don't break it.
Ouch.
Yeah, and it just breaks the nerve a bit.
I think we should call our show Nothing Sacral.
Okay.
We should call it Nothing Sciatica.
Nothing sciatica. Nothing sciatica.
Yeah, we're masters of satire.
Satire.
Oh, you know what? Maybe.
Nothing sciatica.
The wheels are spinning over there.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
I'm afraid
we can smell the smoke.
Like we're going to title this shit.
Like, I thought it was always my leg.
No, you said it.
No, I know we're titled. We're
going to call it.
We're going to call it everything. Everything is sciatica.
Everything is sciatica.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything in sciatica.
Yeah, dude.
I like it.
Yeah, I've got anxiety. It's sciatica. Yeah,
it's got anxiety.
I see it all. Honestly, guys, though, I see it all the time. People come in there like, my doctor said I have sciatica. And I'm like, oh, really? Where's the pain? Well, it's coming down my leg. Which part? Well, right down. You can draw right from here. Blah blah. I'm like, that's your femoral nerve. That's the opposite side. It's not sciatica. Well, I mean, all the time. Everybody thinks they have sciatica. For fuck's sake, it's sciatica.
Well, that's it's irritated right there. It's like the muscle pushing on the nerve.
It just makes you.
Yeah, but it's the other nerve and it's the front.
It just makes you sigh.
Yes,
at it all.
Sciatic.
Sciatic all.
I just kind of thinking in my situation, because I'm already kind of weight bearing. Do I need physical therapy?
I don't think you do. If you do, you would need it more for. No, I don't think so. I mean, see how you go. I mean, I could probably do it even over the phone. I don't think that you
because everybody was saying, everybody's asking me, are you going to have physical therapy? I'm like, I don't know. I just keep being seen every 2 weeks to make sure that everything is good. like X-ray wise.
I mean, for me, I had to have it because, and again, it was my situation was way different. I wasn't putting any weight on my shit.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's like everybody has an opinion. Well,
I'm just telling you,
like this.
I don't think
it's gonna be the
that's
same with you.
What I'm saying is, I don't think you will, because in my situation, I had a way different
sciatica.
deal. Yeah,
actually, he's already got physical therapy. He's married. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
Oh, shit. Physical therapy.
Or is that physical throat?
That was a good one, man.
You can stretch something. You're gonna be stretching something out of it.
Oh, great. You know what? Now I'm going to have to deal with this on Monday when I see people. Because I'll get people all the time. They come with workers' compensation.
I heard of the
who's your
job.
therapist?
Workers' compensation?
Yeah.
Let me comp you for the job you do.
Which one did you? Oh, you got Koala for workers' comp.
Yeah.
6 sessions with Koala.
You get the and the injury attorneys that I'm going to send you to physical therapy. No, but I think it's different, because like I said, I with mine, I could not put weight on the thing at all. So when they took the cast off, I couldn't even put my foot flat on the floor. So that was a whole different thing. But in your case, you can walk. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what's going to happen?
If they offer it to you, take it. But don't make sure the exercises make sense, because that's the thing, is you've got amazing PTs out there. They're amazing PTs, and they will do amazing things for you. But you've also got people that just, what I call, throw the darts at the exercise book. Okay, I've had people. My physical therapist said I need to do this and this and this. I'm like,
get on the bike.
I need to do pull up. I broke my leg and have to do a pull up.
Yeah, that doesn't. Well, seriously, no. Actually, I'm. You're not that far off.
Yeah.
Because I had one yesterday that all lower back, and I'm doing all these, and I'm like, well, 3/4 of those are thoracic spine exercises. You have bulging discs in your lumbar.
About causing the sciatica.
Yes.
Here we go again.
And actually, yes, you're right this time. There was sciatica.
Just call Maxwell the broken clock.
Well, it's right. It's right 2 times
twice a day. Twice
yes,
a day, man.
God damn it.
I got this shit
and
twice
I
a
took
day.
care of it.
By the way, she said bulging.
Didn't have a broken leg though. So,
all right, Cruz. What have you been drinking? You're getting a little.
Yeah.
No, I drank
those energy drinks.
An Orgain nutrition.
Oh dear.
He drank a bang.
Oh God,
That's
here we
why
go.
he's thinking about
Multivitamin.
banging.
He was drinking bang. He was banging.
I was drinking bang, baby. I had some bang,
Bang, bang, bang, bang. You know that REM song?
I was banging, man.
No.
Bang on.
Bang on? What is it?
It's REM. Bang, 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 bang. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Bang on
bang. Knock on the door, baby. Bang,
No,
bang.
No, not those. Oh, yeah, that's the other.
Hey.
The other Love Shack fuckers, B-52s.
Bang, bang, bang
on the door, baby.
Bang.
Bup.
Yeah.
Got my sciatica, baby.
The only thing I can think of with the word bang on it is I want to bang on the drum all day.
Oh, that one.
Well, DMX bang on the drum all day.
DMX had a song called Bang too, which
Isn't
is pretty
there
dope.
another like a bang?
Oh yeah.
There is a bang drug. I'm telling you. It's BHANG. It's bang. What's bang? BHANG.
Oh, I think I have heard of it somewhere.
Is an edible preparation made from the leaves of the cannabis plant.
Damn, it's edible preparation.
Edible preparation.
Oh.
It's an edible preparation.
An edible
What
preparation.
What's it supposed to prep you to do?
Or is it a?
Yeah, it's
supposed to prep you to shit. What is it? Preparation H? What? I mean,
No. It just means it's baked.
Oh, it's prepared.
It's
Okay.
edible.
prepared.
You know, Max, you
It's
really
fully
have to
baked
get
instead
into.
of half baked.
It's called
Yes.
It's fully baked.
You have to get into the modern speak, because you
Ew.
can't call these edibles anymore. They're edible preparations.
Yes.
Ooh, an edible preparation.
It sounds so.
Yeah.
Yes, an edible
Ooh.
preparation.
Damn.
'Cause that
Edible
changes it from
preparation.
a
Yes.
cookie or whatever we used to call them.
Yeah,
I guess
The
so.
verbiage is so important.
they got a new cannabis.
Pot
There's,
cookies.
there's cannabis.
Can't call them
Cannabis.
that anymore. They're edible preparations.
Yeah, the brownies, the
You
what
are
about
so
the gummy? Is a
gauche.
gummy considered? Well, I guess a gummy could be prepared, I guess, huh?
Yeah, but don't
Mhm.
It's
yeah,
it's gonna go out of style. It's
just
gonna
to
go
get away
Oh.
from the
Gummy's
cannabis
gonna go out of
sciatica.
style.
Yeah.
Cannabatica?
No, it's isn't it so funny that people take the same things.
Cannabiatica.
Well, but the same things that we've always known are things, and they put new words to them,
Yeah,
Oh, like it
hoping
changes
that it makes it
course.
better.
they try to
of
make
course.
it more sound more sophisticated.
Oh yeah.
Right. This just like pyramid scheme.
Like-
Went to multi-level marketing. Now it's
Yep.
network marketing. Who knows what it's going to be next?
It's now called network marketing.
It's
Oh, shit.
and well, it has been for a couple years.
Now it's called direct marketing. Right?
I've heard that term. Yes, direct marketing.
Well, remember,
Yeah.
blind was blind.
Yo.
Then it went to visually impaired. Then visually
And then it went to
handicapped. Then
unsighted or sight
now
impaired.
it's
Okay, I got something. Speaking of some
handy
shady ass.
capable.
Talk about shady. Hold on, man. You talk about MLMs and shady shit. I had some shady shit happen to me. A few
With
weeks
your
ago.
sciatica.
But the sciatica. So what happened was I
No
met
need
these-
juice.
Yeah, no need
Here we go, the nutty juice.
well, here we get these shady fucks that they attend these like veterans fairs, you know what I'm saying? And they just it's like stupid, you know. Oh, we're a financial we help people with their financial matters, but we serve veterans. Well, McDonald's serves fucking veterans. I mean, that's nothing. So anyway, I must have met these jerk offs at a veterans fair because they called me and left a voicemail at work and said, "Oh, you know, hi, this is Jonathan from whatever the hell the name of the agency was or company was, UWC or whatever." And he said, you know, give me a call back. We met at the veterans fair. So I'm thinking, okay, is this somebody who wants to network? Is this somebody who would serve our general population of people we tend to serve with our program? So I call the guy back and I hear the voicemail and this is Jonathan so-and-so with whatever financial. And I'm like, okay, why is this asshole even calling me? What the hell? What does he want? So I leave a message and I said, this is Maxwell calling from the, you know, and I'm just returning your call. Give me a call back. So he calls me back and he says, yeah, we want to think of way. And it's the underhanded way of like, you know, saying bait and switch type shit. So he's like, well, I just want to, you know, maybe have a Zoom meeting so we can talk about you know, ways that we can help each other. You know, ways we can help.
Ways
So
we can help each
boy.
other.
So I told him, I
each other.
explained the nature of what we do is, you know, we're not allowed to refer people to anything other than government and civic organizations. So if you're looking for me to give you referrals, well, you can drink from my undershorts because, you know, I didn't say it
That's
that
how
way.
we can help each other.
You can drink from my undershorts is what you can do. So anyway, I let them
What
do
are they
this.
going to be drinking?
I figured they could.
Sciatic fluid.
His cerebrospinal fluid is draining out his sciatic.
It's draining through his tank.
Hey, there we go. Sciatica.
He has a very unique case, guys.
Yes.
Just don't judge. Don't judge.
So anyway, I do let them set up a Zoom meeting with me. I'm like, okay, you know, maybe 30 minutes. Let's see what the hell these guys got to say. And part of it is curiosity. You know, I'll admit it. And so the guy sends me an email like the day before. Thank you for agreeing to meet with us. The main objective of this is to discuss your financial future. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck? So then they start. I get on the Zoom call the next morning. And the first thing they want to know is, you know, I'm telling them what we do, you know, and they said, well, we want to know more about Maxwell. How long have you worked in the position that you're working in? How long have you done this? How long have you lived in Vegas? You know, just generic.
Oh boy.
Generic ass questions. And I'm like, okay, this is getting weird. Well, then they want to know about, you know, well, do you have a retirement plan? Do you have it? And I'm like, Yeah, I got some of that stuff, it's through, and so like, okay, yeah, well, we'd like to discuss this more with you. Can we maybe have another meeting next week? And I'm like, nah, it's good, man. If I have questions now that I know what you do, I'll be in touch. But they tried, man. They tried to get their little fucking, snake, their fucking shady ass, slimy fucking.
See, that's even nice because some of the people, because I'm in healthcare,
Right.
they're nasty. Like they go in really bad. Like, hey, we have blah blah blah. We've got this new device that, first of all,
Those assholes.
now I'm mean.
With the
I
beamer?
used to,
You've heard of the beamer?
oh my God, no.
Have you heard of the beamer?
Please. Yes. Oh God. And the Vasper machine and the this and that. And I'm like, well, what does it do? Well, it's helped a lot of people. What does it do?
It arranges the molecules
I've
in your
helped
body.
so many people. I've helped. I'm like, what does it fucking do? That's what I want to know. Tell me what it does.
Right.
Well, we help millions of. Okay. All right. So clearly, since you can't say what it does, I don't want to know. But they will come in and they're brutal because, like, do you this and that and da da da. And I've, we're nutritionists and da 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 da. I'm like, where did you get your training? Oh, well, we've studied a lot of these blah 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 because we work for this company and it's amazing and it's all what is it?
Nutraceutical or some bullshit. They use some buzzword.
Yeah, it's well, not nutrition, no, but it'll be like this is
Organic or some other weird term.
Yeah, big time. Just this has won so many awards and da da da. And I'm like, really? I never heard of it. Well, no, I mean, it could be.
It could win awards.
Okay, but we've helped people with stage 4 cancer. I'm like, please tell me you're not pushing this on stage 4 cancer people.
Oh God,
please tell me you're not.
All you need to cure stage 4 cancer is a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar a day.
And moose
some
menstruation.
Fucking arsenic, because you're going to go anyway. I'm sorry, but you are.
No, but a teaspoon of moose menstruation and apple cider vinegar, and it'll cure your stage 4 cancer.
And every one of these, and every one of these things, when you look at the, I say, well, have me send me the studies, and they're all biased. They're all by people that either sell the stuff or ended up selling the stuff or have backed it. So I'm like, no, I know what a double-blind study looks like. I know what an unbiased study is. And it has to have a certain amount of controlled variables. It has to have a certain amount of, you can't do it with, can't do it with the amount of people you have and also being in the company. You cannot do it. It has to be totally unbiased. This is biased. But they will, I had one of these people do that with my dad. Like they actually, well, I know your father has lung disease, so
they went
if
there.
he does blah 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 blah, it'll help keep him alive. And I'm like, no, he's terminally ill. He's going down. Well, wouldn't you want to? I'm like, oh no.
Oh, they play on that fucking emotion, huh?
Oh, they play on all emotions. And so if you're weak or if you're hopeful, that's the dangerous part about those kind.
Guilt
like,
and
I don't
hope,
care
man.
if you want to sell noni juice, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you want, but also people, your retirement plan and your, they're trying to hit you where you're vulnerable. What's your retirement plan? What's your,
Don't you have a 401k and a deferred, all that other shit?
Wouldn't it be better if you had your own business and you worked from home? Nobody. And everybody
I think these guys just wanted access. They wanted me to pay them to be financial consultants for me. Like, they're going to tell me how to invest my money correctly, so I'll have a good retirement. Yeah.
That's
one of those scumbag things, is what that is.
That's more on that level. But with the MLMs or whatever they're called.
Oh yeah, sell you the Jesus juice kind of thing.
the thing is, anybody listening, if you are not on the ground,
Yes.
you are not going to make money.
No, hell no.
Nope.
And that's
That
the way it
asshole
goes.
will.
So if you can start a company and you can create your own Jesus juice, God bless you. Literally, you will make money.
Otherwise, yeah, it'll fall
It's
apart
going to
before you.
suck you dry.
Yeah, and it'll fall apart.
Another thing that goes with that is they'll convince you that the people on the ground floor, who are on the ground floor at the beginning, will convince you that you're also capable of doing it.
Right.
If I did it, you can't.
But the reality
huge
is that the reality is that you're not capable of doing it. No matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you try, you're not capable of doing what they did because they're on the ground floor.
Right. Right.
And they've got you doing all of that for them.
Yeah,
correct.
And they'll and the other piece is, especially with the it's big now in the health industry, because you're helping people. So it appeals to people's altruism.
Yep.
You know?
It's that giving circle bullshit too is a part of it too.
That's another one. Yeah.
Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all you got to do is just it comes back to you. It's karma.
Pay it forward.
You give 100, and then you get 5 people to give you 100, and then
it's called a circular Ponzi scheme. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's called illegal in this country.
People just bite into it left and right, man.
I know
it's
people that have. Yeah.
And it's amazing. I'll see very smart people getting sucked into shit like this. You know, I mean, it's like I can see dumb people falling for it, but smart people?
No, it's because just like anything else, it's
everybody wants an answer.
It's a failing of the marshmallow test. You guys know what the marshmallow test is, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes, it's when the kid goes, all right.
Talking about instant gratification.
Yes, it's like, all right, because get rich quick is all. That's all. It's like not having to work. Oh, it's a dream. It's like gambling. That's why gambling is such a big addiction. But
we
were talking about this the other day about the marshmallow test, where you put a marshmallow in front of a 3-year-old or 4-year-old, and you go, okay, if you can survive 10 minutes and not eat this marshmallow, we'll give you 2 marshmallows.
Right.
Yeah. And they're like, okay.
Like, oh, I can't wait. I can't actually work hard to get my thing. I got to just get this now. So it's that instant gratification.
So you had a marshmallow. It doesn't matter. You wanted one, you got one, you know? So, you know.
Yeah. But
so even if you didn't wait for 2, you still got one, you know, you still got a marshmallow from it.
No, but the point is that if you waited, you get more, but kids can't, you know, but my guy, that's kind of a similar, maybe it's a bad analogy. I don't know.
Well, I didn't like marshmallows, so I
didn't. I'm not a huge marshmallow fan.
No,
I love marshmallows.
I won that one. I was good.
I don't love.
Here's another like question that people get posed a lot is, I can give you 10,000, or let's say I can give you $100,000 now, or you can have what it is we start with a penny and it doubles every day.
Oh
yeah,
but after about a month, that doubling is a tremendous amount of money.
Is that like that stupid
the lottery?
That or there's like
an interesting thing, because it's like you buy a chance, $1 a week, right? Yeah. For the lottery, say, or $2 or whatever the hell you do.
Right.
The chance in 1 in 6.
You know that most people don't just buy one ticket, right?
I do. But I'm just saying, even if they did,
especially when they have a feeling,
you know, okay. Say they do like 25 or 30 a week, right? With the off chance a little more. of winning millions versus putting that money into a savings account and accruing interest.
Right? Yes. Yeah.
Which that interest, if you look at compound interest rates, would actually net them quite a bit over time.
Right. Just having the money sit there and earn interest, you know, as opposed
to this. Same thing with medical insurance. Instead of putting $200, well, unless you have it now there are cases where people, you know, have like diabetes and other things, they need to have regular treatment. But somebody like myself or somebody else, you know, that doesn't. I put things into a savings account.
Yeah.
And I can draw from it, and I pay with cash. I have the bare bones in case I get, like, you know, shot or something, and I have to
Right.
go into actually the hospital, you know,
But it's
'cause
safe.
that'll kill you.
It's not a gamble.
But
It's safe for you.
but so I have the bare bones medical insurance, but everything in my savings account goes into that, so that if I need something, it's already there. So it's like I'm not gambling on. I'm not spending, because people get so pissed off. I spent all this on car insurance. I spent all this on this insurance. I spent all this on blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And I don't, and then they don't give me back. I'm like, well, why don't you just take care of yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. Put what you
take
need.
care of yourself.
Well, with the idea with car insurance though is it's basically by law.
Well, you have to. Well,
if
no,
that kind of thing.
I know that.
Yeah,
I'm
if
thinking
you're-
more like
Yeah,
stock.
yeah.
Like when people invest in stocks and do crazy shit. I mean, if you're not a stock market,
but even with stocks, you can play with it, but you're playing with it,
Right.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But now,
Well,
wait a minute.
over time though, you get way more with stocks than you would
Uh-huh.
with savings, even
well,
even over time.
maybe,
I mean, we're
unless
talking
stock-
invest in the right
we're
stock.
talking about 20, 30 years. We're talking about 20, 30 years over time, right?
Yeah.
But if
not
you invest in the
not
right
a
stock,
couple of years. Yeah. Well, even if
If
you
you-
don't invest in the right stock, even if you don't invest in the right stock,
Mm.
over a 20 to 30 year period.
Oh,
We're not
boy.
talking like 5 years or something like that. We're talking about over time.
Well-
If you catch it at the right time and you sell it at the right time.
Yeah, but you got to
You'll
be
definitely
somebody who
make
studies the
more.
shit out of stock.
But
trends
that's
and
that's
things,
that's the thing, is that if you catch it at the right time and you sell it at the right time, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So sure thing
Yeah.
is put it in savings. Otherwise, you're gambling,
right?
and there's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with playing the game. But to think
Mhm.
that you don't, that is, going to be a better option might not be true, depending on
that's
who
the-
you
that's
are
the-
and how you
That's the
operate.
gambling thing too. Well, if I just hit that machine at the right
By the
time,
way-
what's the right time?
I just did something. I just did something, guys. While you guys were talking about the financial stuff, I got the calculator, and I multiplied 1 times 2 30 times. Okay,
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
so if you did that, 1 penny every day for 30 days,
Yeah.
and just got, instead of taking 1,000, you would have 1,073,741,824 pennies.
Penny
Oh,
saved
damn.
is a penny earned,
A
bitch.
penny. So if you just said, "Oh, every day every penny saved is a penny earned,"
There we
bitch.
go. What
So
you got?
that- So that's funny that it's just after 30 days, if you said, "Oh, 30 days for 1 penny, or we'll give you 100,000 now." After 30 days, you would have over 1 billion pennies, which is like
$10 million.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes.
Wow.
In pennies, of course.
No,
Wow.
in money, in $10 million pennies. But the point
Well,
is, yeah,
it's just like a magic penny.
Yeah.
You hold it tight, you
I
won't have any.
won't have any. Lend it, spend it,
Give it away.
It comes right
back
back
to
to
you.
you.
Come on, we all
Sciatica,
know this
something.
shit,
If
don't
you
we?
give it away, sciatica is something.
Sciatica
Sciatica's-
comes right back to
Sciatica is something. If you fall on your ass, fall on your ass. Fall on your ass. Sciatica is something. If you fall on your ass, it wasn't because of your tibia.
It wasn't because you're there.
Oh boy, I gotta. So I know we're rolling on here, but I got a little oldster stuff for you guys here.
Okay.
I get these things on Facebook, right?
Okay.
And I get this. It's looking back at the top 20 countdowns from certain years.
Okay.
So like it's just funny how you all these songs from this is one from September 24th, 1984. So what do you think the number 1 song from September 24th, 1984 was?
Oh, let me think.
Maniac.
No, that was later
that's a
or
good
earlier, wasn't it?
guess.
Yeah, that was earlier.
I'm trying to think. 1984.
Like a
what was it?
virgin?
Thriller.
No, that would-
Nope.
No, let me
It
think.
was- It was
Thriller was earlier.
Oh,
it
hold
was
on, I'm
fall of 84, the biggest songs of that time. What is-
yeah, I'm
let's-
trying to
let's
think
see.
what song was really popping back then, where it was just like, oh shit.
Let's see if you can get any of these off the top 20, just out of curiosity. I'm just
Could it have been? Well, no, I was gonna say Ghostbusters, but I don't know if that was like summer of '84.
Yeah,
Huh?
Actually, Ghostbusters is number 13.
Oh, so it's still in there.
Oh,
Okay, it was
hey.
still in there.
All right. So
All right. Well, what about that? What about that one? I don't even know what it's called, but it's sometimes I feel like somebody's watching me song.
Oh, by
Oh,
Rockwell.
you know?
Ah, yes. Was that
Yeah.
that was
Sweet-
earlier, I think.
Was Sweet
Yeah.
Dreams by the Eurythmics?
No,
Or is
that was earlier. That was '83.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Siatica
Number one was Missing You by John Waite.
Oh, John
that
Waite.
shitty
Oh.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was
Listen, you.
I'll
Since
be
you
missing
were
you.
gone.
Oh, wait. Number 2 was
Goodness.
Let's
Oh,
Go
God.
Crazy.
Oh, by
Let's Go
Prince.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 3
That's
Oh,
is
actually my
wait a
favorite
minute.
Prince
Oh, no,
song.
Cruel
I could care
Summer,
less
no.
about half the other
Oh, Cruel
Yeah.
Summer should have been in there. Yeah.
No, that probably would have been the next year, right?
No, you're
Cruel,
right.
no,
You're
Cruel
right on the
Summer
year.
is number 10.
Really?
Okay, so it is in there. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was that year. That was '84.
So-
All right. Well, what about When Doves Cry?
Oh yeah, is that in there?
When
I think that was earlier, but let's see. I don't know if that's top 20. It's not on
Let's
this
Go
list.
Crazy was in there.
something by
No, it's
Journey.
not. Let's
Is
see.
anything by Journey?
Number 3 was She Bop by
Oh,
Cyndi
Cyndi
Lauper.
Lauper. Oh shit.
I can't believe that song was that big. I never liked
I don't
it.
think it was
I
that big
never
either,
even. I don't.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what it was.
Number 4
Wait,
was,
hold on.
I don't even know
Let
what
me
that
see. I
is.
think I might have a possibility. Was it Time After Time?
nope, that's She Bop. She Bop's her song.
Oh, she was. Okay, that was for her.
Because that was because that back then they weren't like Taylor Swift and had 8 songs on the
in the countdown.
Now number 4 was Tina Turner.
Well, what's love got to do with it?
What's drugs got to do with it?
Oh, what's Siatica got to do with it?
What's that got to do with it?
Number 5 is You're Gonna Drive With Us Tonight.
Oh, by the Cars. Okay,
Yeah.
Drive. Okay.
Drive.
Yeah.
Number 6 is another big
Oh,
one. That was
I think I know the number one.
it was
was
I
it-
told you what number 1 was.
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay, it was. Yeah, that's right.
But what's another one? Let's see what song.
How about Torture by the Jacksons?
That was number 19.
Okay, so it was in the countdown. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Then
What's Torture?
You never heard that song?
Wait, I don't even know who that song is.
You never heard that song by when the Jacksons?
Nah.
Victory was the album.
No.
The album was called
No.
Victory.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
I
was-
never heard Torture.
really?
It's a pretty cool. It's all right
yeah,
song.
it's a good song.
The Quentin Tarantino kind of thing, or what?
No, it was when the Jacksons reunited and did a,
Wow.
Tito, Michael, Marlon, all the fuckers.
Number 6 is If This Is It.
Oh, by Huey
by
Lewis.
Huey Lewis and the News.
Ah,
Okay,
yes.
that makes sense.
Number
Yeah.
7 was there's another song with Bang Bang in it. And think of it if you can remember it.
Bang, bang.
Sitting at the walls of heartache.
Oh,
Bang,
Patti Smythe.
bang.
Okay. All right.
Featuring Patti Smythe. Yeah, Scandal.
Scandal was the name of the group. That's right. That's right.
Then 8 was a Sheila E. song.
Glamorous Life?
Yes.
The only one she did, or
Yeah, that's pretty much. I think there was one other that she did, but you're right, it wasn't really popping.
But I think
Sorry.
it's going to be something I'm going to look back on different years, like at the end of each of our things or whatever. Because
That's
then we
actually
got
kind of cool. I like that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so this is and the thing about all these songs we've heard so far are songs, and I'm going to be this is my oldster mentality going, but all these songs you're hearing are songs that you remember and hear. Do you think this is going to happen 30 years or 40 years? Whatever.
Right. Like let's say it's 2043 and we're doing a Nothing Sacred.
No one's going to remember it. Oh, 2023.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Well, let's say for argument's sake, are you going to look back at top
So-
20 songs of 2023 and know any of them? That's
No,
a good
I
exactly.
don't know
Yeah.
anything.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
So number 9 is the worst fucking Stevie Wonder song ever, which I
Oh,
think
I just called to
Oh,
say
I
love
just
it.
called to
yeah,
say
I just
love
called-
it.
I hate that song.
Oh,
Hate it.
what was he
Fucking
doing?
hate it.
What
Actually,
he
was there any
doing?
Bruce
Was he
Springsteen in
just-
there anywhere?
Was he
Like,
feeling guilty about something, or what?
I think
is
Bruce
this-
Springsteen. Let me see.
there had to be a Bruce Springsteen song somewhere in there.
No,
Because
so we got Cruel Summer next at 10. Number 11 was actually you're right. You're absolutely right. Which one would it be, though?
Was it Cover Me?
Yes,
No,
Oh,
Cover
it was
Me?
Cover Me. Okay, yeah, because that was about that time.
I
Yep.
don't like
Cover
Bruce
me.
Springsteen.
I don't either. He's not
I
like,
don't either, but his
I've
songs
never
were
liked
good.
that.
He was popping whether we like him or not, you know.
hey, little dog, you gonna punch your mom?
Oh, God.
Okay, that song is disturbing.
Yeah.
Which one?
Hey, little girl, they're gonna
Hey,
Come on,
little
Fire.
girl, is your daddy home? Doesn't know what to do when you're all alone.
My dad hates that song. My dad fucking
It's a
hates
terrible
it.
song, dude.
He's like, that's the dumbest goddamn
Hey,
song. A freight
hey,
train
little-
running through the middle of my
Hey,
head.
Hey,
little
little
girl,
girl, is your daddy home?
Hey,
Oh,
old
yeah,
man,
some
do you,
pedophile shit. Yeah,
hey, old man,
totally.
do you think you're cool? You're gonna clean up a fan while you're standing on a stool. Whoa!
I got a bad,
Oh,
I got a
oh,
bad
oh,
desire.
my knee's
I
on
got
fire.
a bad desire.
This is cover me is which? Oh, that's cover me.
Yeah,
Cover.
come on in and cover me. Don't.
No,
Yeah.
no, we're not going to cover you. No.
Then, of course, we have to have in the early '80s a Lionel Richie song at number 12, which would
Oh,
be
was it?
All night
All
long.
night long.
no,
all that-
no,
no?
no, no.
Oh, hello.
Is it dancing on the ceiling?
No, that's
that was
later.
a little later.
That was later.
Hold up. The
Oh
Lionel
crap.
Richie.
Lionel
What did he
Richie.
do that was-
You are the sun. No, that was earlier.
That was
That was
earlier.
Commodores, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah.
This is Stuck on
Say
You.
you.
Oh, Stuck on You. Oh, shit.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
God,
Feeling
that
on a
song
fucking
sucks.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a bad song.
But we still remember it though.
Yeah, it's still in our heads if we hate it or
Mighty
not.
glad we stayed.
See,
I
now-
guess I'm on my way.
Like even songs that you songs that you hate
Well,
or love.
Lionel was so good before he left the Commodores.
Oh, yeah.
He had some
Wasn't
other
he?
good. He had some other good stuff afterwards.
This next one is a
Love Will Find a Way is good.
is a song by a group named after a city about people who take too much tramadol
Oh,
or too much dip or who are still like amazed that they haven't had drink alcohol.
was
in a
was
while.
this
It's named after a city and it's a song.
for city?
Yeah, the band is named after a city. The song is about
Addiction.
yeah, or it could be, but it's about love because that's all they fucking sang about during this decade.
I think.
Can you get any more confusing?
a city?
Being without you.
Oh, Chicago. Well, you
Oh,
should.
Chicago.
All
Hard
you
habit-
said
hard
you had to
habit
say
to
was
break.
my assistant at work.
Yeah, by the deadliest city in the country. Yeah, no, hard habit to break.
Chicago.
Oh, that's right.
Number
That was
15
that was
is a song that one of the songs songs I don't remember on this chart was the Dynamite by Jermaine Jackson.
I don't remember that at all.
Vaguely.
I
But
remember
I
he
remember-
had it on it was on MTV.
I feel like you skipped something. Did you skip something?
No, he's
No.
going
It
down.
seemed like you went from.
He went
It
down
seemed
from
like
one
he
to-
went from like 13 to 15 or something. I don't know. It just
Well,
seemed
of
like
course he did.
kinda
He
just-
went from 13, 14, 15. 15
No,
was
it sounded
Dynamite.
like he went from 13, skipped over 14, and went to 13. Skipped over 14, went to 15. I don't know. It just seemed a little weird.
Jermaine Jackson Dynamite. I don't even remember.
I
this
think I
fucking
do.
song.
It's vaguely I remember that. It's not as big.
It
as,
was crap, and I
well,
do
it was.
remember.
It's better than do what you do when you did what you did to me.
Number 16 was a Madonna song.
Oh,
see if
let's
we can-
see.
Material Girl
Yes.
Starlight?
No.
or Starlight.
That's Lucky Star. You're right.
A lucky star. You must be
Starlight?
my
Yeah.
lucky star.
Yeah,
Okay. That's it.
Why can she not talk?
Because she's
You
fucking
must be my lucky star.
she's a brilliant. She said she was a genius.
Hey, that song was
you are.
you know that stuff was
couldn't
dope
sing.
back then.
She might have had something in her mouth. I don't know.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
possible. All the dick she sucked.
Yeah, there is possibilities.
Yeah. Then number 17
Starlight. Sorry.
was When You Close Your Eyes by Night Ranger.
Oh, when you close your eyes,
You are
dream about me.
That's a pathetic song.
I do remember that song.
That is a
Yeah,
very
yeah.
pathetic song.
And then number 18 is Peter Wolf. Lights
Out. Okay, I do remember that song.
Wait,
Lights
what?
Out. Splash, 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 or whatever.
Lights
I
Out.
don't remember
Yeah, that was
at
another
all.
shit song from the 80s.
Yeah, well, that was a shit song. It was on MTV all the time, though.
And then
Splash,
19 was
splash.
Torture.
And then
all
the
right.
last song is Every Blind Person's Anthem
Oh, every blind.
Every blind person dancing who is told to.
Who did that one?
One Stevie Wonder.
Not everyone's, but it's definitely the ones who are told by their guidance counselors that they have to wear these all the time.
Oh, Corey Hart,
I
sunglasses
wear
at night.
my sunglasses. That is the
Yeah.
worst song in the world. No, seriously.
I'm still trying to figure. What does he say? Don't switch the blade on the guy in shades. Oh no. Or
Yeah.
something?
We just talked about this like a few months
We
ago.
did.
Yep. Same song. We did hit that same song, didn't we?
Sunglasses at night,
So
I
can
let the sighties know that I am blind.
I dream. Yeah. I
should put the link to that song in the description.
sunglasses. I should just walk around with a little speaker
Oh,
over my shoulder and just walk.
Actually, Max would be. I feel sciatica at night. Have to put a pillow between my knees.
Hey, I do that. But that's, and I actually for a long time. Let me ask you guys this, especially us, like totally. Did you guys ever get shit for not wearing glasses? Why don't you have glasses?
Yeah.
Wow. Yep.
And I wear eye makeup.
My vision is such that I needed them, so it wasn't just to be. I need sunglasses during the day because without them I can't see shit.
Okay. So they do help you then in your case.
He wears his
they actually
glasses all day.
Actually help
so he can.
Well, I get
Yes,
I actually had somebody.
That's the way that I used to get girls. Yes,
wear sunglasses. Sunglasses and a dog, man. That's what it was. If you got you get your little box, man. Sunglasses and a dog. Oh, let me tell you.
That's all. That's all you need. You don't need charisma. You don't need anything like that.
All you need is a guide dog.
You need sunglasses.
Sunglasses, a dog, and a cane. Don't forget the cane.
Oh, the cane. Yeah. You gotta have a cane. Well, you gotta have.
Well, canes are actually.
Well,
you gotta pick one. You gotta
a dog can be useful too.
I'd go dog. I'd go dog.
What if you have a dog named Kane?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
you know what? That's actually really fucking funny.
My stepbrother's dog is named Kane.
Really?
For real.
That is awesome. My next dog.
I'm gonna
change his name. I'm gonna change his name to Kane.
Well, there's a restaurant called Raising Cane's, right?
Oh yeah,
you ever heard of that? Yeah.
Raising Cane chicken fingers.
It's a bunch of blind people protesting.
Raising Cane's. They're raising their canes.
How far that gets.
We got our canes in the air. Sounds like
canes in the air. We're
canes in the way.
Which, by the way, guys, you know that White Cane Day.
Canes in the air.
White Cane Day is coming up soon, guys.
Cane Day is coming up.
White Cane Day next month.
No. They're not doing that. Are they really?
Oh yeah.
No, please.
Yeah,
please
they've done that every year.
Yep, that's been a big thing.
They've done that every year.
No, this year it's more inclusive. It's the rainbow cane.
Oh, it's the rain cane?
The rain.
I think it's just like the 20th anniversary or 20th anniversary.
I have not. I'm so happy. I've been so oblivious.
And unfortunately,
right.
The work I do.
Oh no!
I get alerted every year, with the work I do, and actually they want us to have a table there. Last year we went there, and then they were like, "Oh, you were supposed to bring a table," and we're like, "We weren't told we were to bring a table." She's like, "Oh, I thought I told everyone." And I'm like, "No, you didn't." Blind up, but see, that's the thing. That's these blind motherfuckers. There's no consequence for their shit. You know what I'm saying? They just
right.
Seriously, it's just like, she was very dismissive.
Motherfuckers.
That's how they are, man. These fuckers. This is why, like, nobody will hire them.
I would love for you to be like bugged.
Oh.
At one point, where you don't know that
all these
and I'm talking crazy, like, this
motherfucker.
Like, what's his name?
No consequence for their shit.
Like Mark Furman when they,
wouldn't that just be awesome? You just come out like,
Oh.
"Hi, everyone," all
we're
dignified.
We're going with Mark Furman now, huh?
Yeah, well, because remember that's where they caught him with the telling the jokes, the racist jokes. And so it'd be the same thing. It's like, oh, well, Maxwell Silverhammer was talking bad about other blind people, but I get partial blinky credit, because
you do, but actually you would be a traitor.
Oh yeah, well I would
be. You would be so thrown under the bus.
I'd be a blowout.
He'd be a blood traitor.
I'm a Blunkle Tom. I'd be a Blunkle Tom, is what I'd be.
You would.
An Uncle Stevie.
Uncle Stevie.
Uncle Stevie.
Hey, that's awesome. So a blind dude who's a sellout.
Or Uncle Ray.
Uncle Ray.
I think Uncle Ray. Uncle Ray. Stevie actually represented, I think, a little better than Ray did. Ray, I think, no.
But let's see.
I don't know. Ray was doing heroin, so he was normal.
Well, yeah. No, but he was also doing, he didn't, I don't know. I think
I don't know,
but no, see, I like the blind people that actually beat their wives because they're actually like evil, so it's like.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. No, actually, you're right. Uncle Ray Russ, because he was. You're right. Actually, right. You're actually right because he did give off this great I'm blind and I'm so happy all the time. Then he get home and beat the shit out, or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So he wasn't Uncle Ray.
He did the whole thing about how he could walk all his steps. Yeah, like to
Stevie
get home. And
Stevie
was. Yeah,
Stevie never shied away from saying that he had 12 kids from 8 different wives or whatever.
Right.
If you believe some of the people on the internet, Stevie can see.
Oh yeah, there's that too. I heard something recently where he was supposed to have a kidney transplant or something with his kidneys or some weird shit.
I don't know.
That's what I heard. I mean, I didn't hear more of it.
I don't keep up with him, man. I'm sorry.
Well,
to be honest, I just liked his music better. I really did.
No, I didn't care for Ray as much.
Ray had some good stuff, but I didn't get the whole.
Wasn't really our generation. You know what I'm saying?
People that are actually asking, is Stevie Wonder really blind? I'm looking it up.
Wow, there's people that actually question, like, is this motherfucker blind for real?
There's a lot of people that are saying, yeah, he's caught microphones. Like, in other words, like they're passing him the microphone and he literally catches it.
Well, gee, I wonder why he's been blind all his life.
You can. That's the thing. I've had people, what the weird thing is, guys? I've had people ask me that.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
How
did you grab that?
Are you really blind? Like, I'll catch my coffee if I knock it off the table. I catch it. And just things like that.
There's another video where this guy, he says, "Yeah, man, the guy, he walked right up to me, and Stevie Wonder walked right up to me and he said, 'Lead me to the piano.'" He's like, "Well, if you can walk directly right up to me, you know where the freaking piano is, bro."
No, he can hear your fucking voice, so you don't necessarily know where the piano is.
They don't take other things into consideration. Like,
Louie is trolling.
There's certain shit that you just know. Oh, I had that people too.
No, I've had. Oh, God.
Are you faking it? I actually had somebody ask me, "Are you faking it?"
Only with your wife.
No, I've had people ask me that too. And then if I go out to bars and if I have makeup on and they can't see that my eyes twitch,
only with your husband,
they'll think that she's a bitch because I don't respond. Like if people look at me and I don't smile back, or I don't, all the time.
Or how about the thing where you're looking at someone and you don't realize you're looking at someone in the eye, and they're like, "Oh, hey man, why is that motherfucker staring at me?" I've actually had that happen too. Where
people. I had cops ask me if I'm stoned.
Oh
I've had all kinds of shit.
A question that somebody asked: if Stevie Wonder is really blind, why does he wear sunglasses? That's a good.
Wow.
That's
a socket Ryan-tist right there.
That's a fucking good question. That's the only good question.
But I looked up, is Stevie Wonder blind? There's so many people that are wondering if he's really blind. It's funny.
So it's unbelievable. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. It's all over the place.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Well, somebody asked me that, and it was really funny, and I just was. I was in a mood. And so when I'm in a mood, it's not good. So somebody, are you really blind? I said, no, I'm not. I really love the discrimination and how I'm treated and how I'm always talked down to by the rest of you fuckers. That's why I pretend to do this.
I love
Nice. And they had no response to that, of course.
I
Right?
just walked away. I don't know. I just walked away. I was in a mood.
Oh, okay.
Who cares?
So you didn't. Did you
Who cares
listen
what
for
the
maybe a?
response is?
Well, gee,
No.
you don't have to be a bitch or any kind of comment.
I didn't have time.
Nah,
Wow.
who cares? Right?
Man, dude. Oh, we're
rocking it. So, well,
So I have to tell you guys about this story, though.
Okay.
It's totally off topic. I quit my job at a school that I will not mention that happens to train service animals for people who are visually impaired.
Oh, you quit it for good, huh?
Yeah.
It was like your Sunday gig, I believe, right?
You're right. So on Sundays, which is my only day off that I ever have, if I have one, unless well, like today I had well, no, I had a lot of people today, but that's by choice. But Sunday's my only real ever day I have off. So I was going down to said school, and if they had enough people, I would do massages for the people getting their dogs because they'd have to live in the dormitory, and I would do the massages for. It used to be 50%. And now I changed it to 75% last year because of having to boost transportation costs. But anyway,
okay.
In 4 years, I've been working with them. And one time, there was someone that had a question about, oh, did she do an adjustment? And they called me immediately. They said, did you do an adjustment? We're not doing chiropractic stuff. And I said, no, I did not. I did a blah, 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 positional release, and I'm allowed to do, joint manipulation as long as I don't do high velocity. Oh, okay. We just want to make sure, sometimes things get lost in translation. That's the only time I've ever been questioned.
Wow. So it's that specific. Like, did you do an adjustment versus a massage, huh?
Yeah. Well, they need it, and that's fair. But 4 years later, I get a call on Monday. An email. We have a question about the massage that happened over a week ago. And she said that you said she had a fracture and da-da-da. So I call back. I said, well, I think there's been some misunderstanding. I never said she had a fracture. He said there's a possibility that there could be a stress fracture, but what I do know is the bandage is not correctly applied to her foot, and she needs to have a lace-up boot or a brace if she's going to be training with dogs, because this is her first dog. So basically what happened was they're trying to throw me under the bus. They let her go out on routes, and so as the conversation goes around, I'm like, well, why didn't you ask me in right after she said that? Oh, we had reasons. We didn't want to disturb you. But what I found out was she injured herself 3 days later because of the piss poor bandage.
And she blamed it on you?
No, she didn't. They're doing it.
Oh, right away. It had to be the massage therapist. Wow.
So I said, well, did she say, well, and then they kept trying to trap me. They were like, so when you took off the ace bandage, I said, no, let me stop you right there. I said, I didn't take off a bandage, and there wasn't an ace bandage to take off. There was a bandage that was the equivalent of a pair of nylons that someone wrapped poorly. That was what was on there because her ankle was inverting.
Damn.
We don't know what that means. I'm like, clearly you don't.
So was this woman diabetic, or she just do some dumb shit and step off?
No, she sprained her ankle. She sprained her ankle.
So
okay. She's never used a dog. When you use a dog, your gait is very different, and a dog is not used to you. You're not used to the dog. They're gonna take you off a step, and she sprained her ankle. Not a healthy woman, by the way. Very unhealthy. Who knows if she's diabetic?
Just wait till she gets sciatica.
happened.
There will be sciatica.
Yeah.
So they were trying to push this on me, and then I accidentally, the nurse, divulged, well, after the sprain, and they're like,
Oh, the sprain
I'm
happened
like,
prior to you doing the massage?
It happened. No, it happened prior, and she re-sprained it. That's the thing.
Oh.
She re-sprained her ankle because they were letting her work with a sprain, an acute sprain.
Wow.
And they were trying to blame it on me. And then they said, well, here's the thing. We need to put a policy together. And we've put a policy together.
Oh, you put it already? You guys made it?
Already, before they even talked to me.
Wow. Okay.
That yoga instructors and masseuses are not allowed to discuss injuries in any way or give advice and blah, blah. I said, okay. All right. I said, I'll sign it. As soon as I see the policy that dictates that you and your staff have a policy that instructors are not allowed to take clients on training routes who have acute ankle sprains.
Wow. So then what they say?
We don't have a policy in place. I said, oh, that's too bad. Well, I'm not signing that.
Yeah.
Well, it's important to remember there's no blame here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there is.
You just called me.
Blame it on the sprain.
Yeah.
Right.
That's 1987.
Actually, 1988.
Yes, it was.
I believe.
Yes, it was.
88, actually. Yeah, 88.
88. Okay.
Yeah, because that's when Millie Vanilli. That's funny though. Whatever you do.
Well, that was pretty. Did we just do a 3-hour show, guys?
Yes, we did.
So the ending of it is
a 3-hour show. A 3-hour show.
Hold on. Go ahead and finish, Koala.
Go ahead, Koala.
Okay. So the ending of it is they said, well, but if you don't sign it, you can no longer work with us. And the nurses were very worried. They were like, well, but our clients really love what you do and they've benefited so much. I said, yeah, that's a shame. And I said, I don't intend to work with you though. So my signing it would just be a moot point.
Right. I'm done. I'm gone.
And no, we really don't. I'm like, no. I said, I think you'll really appreciate this. It's a Midwestern expression. You really screwed the pooch.
See, okay, whenever I get in situations like that, I can't come with any cool lines. You obviously came out with, this is a Midwestern expression you'll appreciate.
And of course,
I was pissed.
Well, using it in a seeing eye dog situation is brilliant as well. You really screwed the pooch.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's why I
didn't even think of that till later.
Yeah. So appropriate. That was amazing. So yeah,
that was apropos.
It was so apropos.
It was apropos. But then I went to get my table last night, and of course, I'm picking up my table Friday night, and then they do, this dickhead does like the last little dig. So he says, well, I said, well, I'm going to pick up my table, but it's not going to be till Friday night because I'm working till about 8:00 every other night, and so I'll be after 6:00 Friday night. I'll come get it. Well, we need to make sure there's a staff person there to put her. I love that voice. I don't know why, but
stuffy fucking.
You can be my rocky star.
but I said, well, you don't really. I shouldn't have pushed this because this is why it happened, I think. But I'm like, well, you don't really need to have anyone there because I still have my key to get into the building. I'll just take the table and leave my key on the side table and we'll be fine.
Very simple.
We have to have a staff person. I said, well, I told you what time I will be there. So if you have a staff person, fantastic. Otherwise, I'll just get my table. I don't, you don't dictate terms. They moved my table. They put it in another room.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then the whole, and I
found so that the blindo couldn't find it.
Yeah, what was the reason for that?
Nobody can find it. So this little attendant comes in and she's all sweet and she's like, oh, and I'm like, well, I don't, my table, and it's always in a closet in this certain room where they have meetings and shit. and that's where I work every other Sunday. So and she's like, well, oh, it's not there. I'm like, no, it's not, sweetie. It, she did. She was very sweet, and she went and found it. And well, I think it was across the hall in a totally different room in another closet.
I think, you know what? I think Louie's right. I think they hid it so you couldn't find it. So then that way you could be like, well, my table's still there. Well, do you want to come back? We can discuss different terms, so they can lick your pussy.
So you aren't really blind anyway, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, right.
Right.
I'm not blind, but it was, and the explanation was such crap. It was like, well, they had a meeting in here, so I guess that's why they moved it. I'm like, oh, they had a meeting in here, so they opened a closet and moved something out. I'm like, no, they didn't.
I think Louie's theory is correct. I think that's what they did. They hit it on you on purpose, whether it to be passive aggressive fuck faces or just to, hopefully deter you from leaving, for whatever reason. So
or they didn't want to say, see, I told you that a staff member needed to be there so that you could.
I think that's what it was.
That could be. Yep,
it's like, well, we'll show you. I'm in charge.
But by the way, the voice you do, the voice that you do, that's her corporate gym voice. Like when I do the corporate gym. God damn it.
Hey, buddy.
Don't. So
it's a great voice. It
works. That's how they sound.
So much, and just because I'm just an asshole and I have to.
Well, first of all, we have to. That's my corporate gym voice.
It always has that.
It sounds like the guy from Office Space.
Yeah, well, same thing.
That would be great.
That would be great.
You can
go ahead and lumber.
Do my TPS report.
Lumber. Yep. Yeah.
You can go ahead. Yeah.
Well, kids.
Yeah.
If you can go ahead and come in on Saturday, and then if you can go ahead and come in on Sunday, because we got to kind of play catch up.
Yeah, we got to play catch up.
Yep. It's that shady fucking Corporanicon fuck bag. So anyway, well, God damn it, we just did a 3-hour show, guys. That's pretty awesome.
We were
amazing. We rocked it here again.
We're
like we always
incredibly
do.
Amazing people.
A lot of it's medical shit, but hey,
we're an inspiration to everyone.
We are.
We really are.
Now the trick is to get the that's the story there, bitches, actually right and do it at the same time. So
let's see if we can do it. And all you guys jump on. Louie, Koala, you guys can join us with that.
You guys do it so well though.
No.
Oh, but you gotta be part of it. You're part of the crew here.
Oh dear.
All right, so let's try it. We all just say it, no matter what. But anyways, this is the 23rd of September 2023. This has been the Drunken Nothing Sacred Shrink, whatever the fuck this is. I am Cruise Control.
I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
I'm Luie Loc.
I'm Koala.
And that's
the story there.
Bitches. Yeah.
We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. We are nothing sacred. With Maxwell Silverhammer. We are nothing sacred. With cruise control. We are nothing sacred.